Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I will play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is Solstice. It was written by Sean Little, who is also our game master, and this is episode 5. No recap tonight, so let's just begin our journey, or let's continue our journey into the darkness. Sean?
Thanks, Tom. You've just left the doctor's house and having spoken to his wife's assistant, maid, whatever you wish. You're on the street by your car or in your car, whatever you wish.
Well, we're going to go see this preacher. Is that today?
Sunday. This is Friday afternoon. Late.
Oh, it's Friday afternoon.
Dinner time almost.
Well, the only thing I can think of to kill some time, we could either try to find out where the doctor now lives, or we could do some research on his father. Other than that, I suppose we just want to wait for the preacher.
Well, there are 5 of us, so we could do both of those things simultaneously.
Reverend Daniel. All right. I think what I would like to do is maybe look in some newspapers and see if we can get a last name or a first name, if that's his last name. And then we might be able to look up and figure out where he's living in town right now.
Okay, you thinking library?
Yeah. Or
okay.
Someplace that might have.
As I recall, he's leading some kind of a big revival. Is that right?
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. There's a brother Daniel who has a revivalist church that is at the north of Tallahassee. It's outside of the city limits, but it's in a rural area north of the city.
Well, maybe just drive out there. Maybe there'll be a poster or something that'll just have his full name on it. Reverend Daniel Tallahassee, or Reverend Michael Daniel. So I'm going to do that. Instead of the library, I'll just drive out to where I think the revival is going to be. It's probably just an empty tent right now. Did they take the tents, put the tents up and take them down, or do they just leave them up? I don't know.
You know, just from, and one of you would know that generally these revival tents, especially in the southern states, would stay up throughout the warmer weather, which was most of the time. They would move from place to place occasionally, but they would stay in one area as long as people were showing up, and as long as they were getting money from the people showing up and members would join and such. So yes, that's it's likely out there. It's likely like not quite a circus tent, but something like that you're imagining based on what you did read so far.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do.
Anyone else? Same, different?
So your plan is to go out there and try to find a sign or something? Is that what you said?
Something with his full name. I mean, maybe I'll bump into him, but I'm not sure that I want to talk to him yet.
I'll go with you. Just a doc's not off on his own.
I'd be interested to look at this.
The tent.
I was thinking it would be a building, but yeah, tent would be weird.
Well, they have lots of those.
Let's go look at this.
This is the South.
Okay, you're gonna ask anybody, or you're just gonna? I mean, there are billboards on every exit and entrance to the town, city for the most part. Do you just want to drive around, or what do you think?
We'll drive in that general direction and take a look and see if we see a billboard or something that'll give an address, and then.
Okay. Well,
yeah. What do the billboards say in general? Are they super informative, or just directions to get there?
generally there's small builders, but I'll tell you, it's not that hard. That as you reach the city limits, you get some gas, you drive to the edge of town, you start seeing signs like the black on white signs, hand painted but nicely done, quality hand painted signs that say the end is nigh, the Lord is come, Brother Daniels is here to help. That kind of sign, and they generally point. They're pointing the direction north up the main highway at the time, out of
Okay.
town.
So we'll
And there's
just
a sign that
follow for
says
a
Sunday
while.
service. hmm All right. Do spot hidden, please.
Sure.
Whoever's driving.
Now you just referred to him as Reverend Daniels, yeah, with an
Sorry,
S.
sorry. Brother Daniel. Brother Daniel.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I got a 93, so I'm busy trying to drive on these crazy mountain roads.
Yeah, yeah. You're driving along. It's the signs don't disappear. There's more and more of them. Some of them are on people's lawns. Um, and does who's sitting in the back right hand side? Who's taking shotgun for on the front? Just so I know, not because you're being shot at.
Probably me.
Okay, you're up front. So you three are in the back. I'm gonna guess Percy is probably near a window, perhaps. Sounds like
Yes,
something
I think that's for the best. I think
for the best.
fresh
Mm.
air.
You
Racing.
actually are the one, Percy. You are on the right hand side, not the passenger side of the car. And could you make a spot hidden, please?
Well, up we go. That's a pass, but only just.
All right, excellent. You're looking around. Dr. Brody's talking about, oh, there's another sign, and reading it out loud, and it's becoming a thing where you're reading them out loud between you all as you see them, because it's not like there's so many of them, but they're different. Every one of them has different messages and mottos and quotations from the Bible and such. And then you actually see off in a field two gentlemen putting up a sign, pounding the stakes in the ground with the sign leaning up against their pickup truck. And it is one of these signs, the end is nigh, kind of, you know.
Oh, I'll draw everyone's attention to it.
You see something over there?
Look over there. Look in that field over there. Look, that's what we're looking for, isn't it?
Is there a tent?
No,
No,
but the
this is
sign.
just-
The sign.
Let's see if we can drive over, at least, off the edge of the road and get their attention. We can ask them where the Reverend is or where we can find him.
Yep.
And
Easy enough.
talk like you're interested in praise the Lord or whatever.
Who's going to go over and I mean, these guys are just two fellas in dungarees and white shirts with the cuffs rolled up to their elbows, but they have ties on still, but they're just undone a bit.
Right.
Did you
And
say they're
like-
on the right side of the road?
right hand side, passenger side of the road. Yes.
Okay, I'll just roll down the window
Wave.
and say, "Hey, excuse me, fellas.
They wave right at you, even though they're 10 feet away. Hello, good day, good evening.
We're interested in checking out this revival Brother Daniels put together. Could you give us directions?"
Oh, absolutely. Though the revival, it's Sunday. It's Sunday at 10 in the morning. People do arrive early. We have some food and some beverages and such before the service. But it goes from 10 till 12, and then there's another service from 1 until 3. And they have a printout, like a piece of paper that actually has like newsprint that actually has information and has quotations and it has the history of the church and it has the name and it has a little, handmade key map that actually shows you how to get to the revival.
All right.
Does it have any info blurb on Brother Daniel?
It only refers to him as Brother Daniel. It says that Brother Daniel saw the light 20 years past. He has a background in the sciences and the arts, and He saw the light, and his a dire warning to bring forwards the people of America.
So this Brother Daniel guy sounds pretty intense, huh?
Oh, his eyes glow. He's just with power, and he's the best thing we've ever encountered. Would we do anything for him?
That's that name, Brother Daniel. Is that Daniel's his first name or his last name?
They look at each other. They look at you. They look at each other. A little bit of quizzical between the two of them, like ants. And they he's Brother Daniel. We don't know him. That's all we know. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Does he live in town?
No. Brother Daniel's, he spends time here for the revival, but he has other locations. But this being his favorite part of the South, this is where he comes on Sundays. He has revivals in various locations throughout the week.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, hope to see you there. Could we tell them who's coming? Could we give some names? We like to have people ready for you.
Oh well, he wouldn't know us. We're traveling through.
Oh, you're from elsewhere. Excellent. Oh, great. We like to spread the word, spread the gospel. They
Thank
gather
you.
on it to each other. Oh,
And
have a great weekend and see you.
I'm already
Sunday.
rolling up the window.
Yeah, and we. I guess we're going. Shall we just go back then? Shall we at least see where the tent is? I don't think we're going to get anything.
Yeah, let's at least scope out the tent.
All right.
See what's
So we'll
going on over there.
follow the little map to at least see the location.
Okay. By the way, as you're driving away, they're waving away and looking at each other like they've done something wonderful. They're so happy with themselves. So you're driving off, and you're almost out of sight before they return to their work putting up the sign. You did notice in the back of the truck there were a few more signs, there were posts. There were a few. No. Who else? Jimmy, could you make a spot hidden as well as Stanley?
Fail.
Failed. 56.
Okay, everything looked exactly as I just described it.
You guys didn't notice the dead hookers in the back of the truck?
the roll up in a carpet.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
All right, so
Right.
you're driving north. It's a little ways. It's out of Tallahassee. I think it's Davistown or something. You pass through a small village or town north of Tallahassee, and just on the other side of it, in the fields, like it's a nice rural spot. It's not too wet. You're not into the swampy areas yet. And there's this great big field, and there's a parking lot that's empty, save for one truck, one beat up old pickup truck, and there's a tent, and it is a large, not circus tent in size, but in shape. The four giant posts, one post up the middle, peak at the top, ropes going out to the ground, nailed with big wooden spikes. The back of the tent, you can see as you're driving up, there's another side, like a little room kind of tent attached to the back. And then off to the side, there's a pavilion that's been constructed. It's four wooden permanent posts with a roof that's, again, peaked just like the tent, but has no sides. And there's picnic tables inside and some barbecue, like large cooking brazier kind of things.
Sure.
Not braziers like wizards would use, but
Right.
And
Any
and then
crosses?
No.
No crosses.
Do not see any crosses. You see signs, you see some hand-painted signs, but you see a very nice big sign. Brother Daniel's ministry, every Sunday, rain or shine, 10 till 12, 1 till 3, all welcome, men, women, and children. And it says, it implies that there's games for children as well, that there's persons who will take care of it. It has a bunch of things like little signs like bring your food or let us feed you. And in the back, you do notice there's a dock, because there's a little river that runs through this area. And in behind, there's a dock, and there's like another little, like a dais, not a dais, like I guess a dais, something someone stands behind. And there's
Podium.
stairs going down, podium, yes, and stairs going down into the water from the dock.
Baptisms. Yeah.
Kind of a baptism area in the river that's a permanent kind of thing.
No crosses. Now I know there's probably a number of Christian groups that don't like the cross. You see a lot of that, but I think that this part of the South would all be crosses. It's kind of weird, huh, guys? All right, let's go back, I guess. Anything else you want to do?
Ian, could you make a spot hidden since you're all looking around? You're sort of the least interested in all of this than the rest of them. You're kind of like, well, I'm thinking of how could I break into this place?
I passed.
Go to the side.
Regular success.
Okay, you pass. You see leaning up against the fence, well, not fence, like beside the tent, leaning up on the ground, you can see someone has defaced one of the signs, and with red paint, it says sinners. Someone has hand painted the word sinners right across the sign, and it looks like a boot print right in the middle of the, like a hole in this, like somebody kicked the sign down before they painted the word sinner on it.
Wow. Get a look at this, Dr. Brody.
Yeah. It's the South. All the Christians hate each other.
That's it, really.
Yeah, I'm not really that surprised. So there's going to be rival churches that are mad because this preacher is getting more popular than their preacher, and it's all about fear mongering. Us against them. Those are the enemies. We're the good guys. It's all nonsense. All right, let's drive back. Gee, Stanley, you're looking a little green.
Yeah, I think I'm allergic to tents. Let's get out of here.
All right. You head back, and where are you going? You just...
I don't know. We got a couple of days to kill. Because we don't know how to find him. We don't know. I don't have any way of finding him.
Is there...
What if we find the phone book?
Reverend Daniel? That's why I was trying to
Start
find
looking
his
up
name.
Daniels. Last name Daniel.
Last name Daniel, first name Daniel. We don't know.
Can't hurt to look for who's in there for the last name Daniel anyway.
Yeah. Or maybe, what if you went by Debussy?
Sure, we can look at that too. It's in the
Oh,
same
wait,
section.
we already looked in Debussy, didn't we? There was just one. That was.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you guys can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go find a phone book, Stanley.
You went to find one.
Guess he did.
Left a blonde.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Oh, well, it depends who you're asking.
But it's just a general thing. Really. Whose wedding is this?
I don't know, but it's officiated by Reverend Daniel.
Oh, it looks like a very large affair, doesn't it? They've got a very big marquee. My word. All the way out here, though, there's no houses. It's terribly inconvenient.
Probably hoot and holler.
Well,
If there's somebody spray painting, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Carry on, please.
I was just going to say, if there's somebody spray painting on their, vandalizing their signs, especially with some sort of judgmental, like sinners, perhaps like there's another local church who is upset about Reverend Daniel, and we could just go to the nearest local church. I mean, even if it's somebody who's okay with Reverend Daniel, they would probably know what's happening in their own backyard.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just a thought.
Yeah, let's go dig up some dirt.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe there's
there's usually
Presbyterians or
there's usually a church on every corner down there, but
Mhm. There's actually, by the way, there's a phone booth. You, as you're driving, you're discussing, and Jimmy's bringing this up. You do see a phone booth, or the equivalent of a phone booth, whatever it was back in 1929. I don't think there was actually, but so you do see that outside of this kind of roadhousey kind of place, trucker stop again, there is a phone booth there.
they have a yellow pages or a white pages.
Phone book.
Go check.
Yeah.
I'll pull up next to it.
Have a quick look, see if we can find anything on Daniel. Last name Daniel. Reverend Daniel.
There's about 65, no, 16 people named Daniels or Daniel, one or the other, in this phone book.
Does it give
Right.
it? Doesn't by chance have any of them that say REV period?
No.
No.
Anything?
Any of them first name brother or reverend? Dang.
Mr.
Nothing
John,
can
is
ever
there,
be easy, can it?
Mr. John, is there anything in that phone book about the? Didn't Dr. Brody mention something about a Masonic lodge?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember how that came up in context.
That should be listed. Masonic Lodge.
It'd be like Lodge 3692.
unless we have to go
Oh,
back
2271.
unless we have to go to Tallahassee to find that. Might be a more local.
Possibly.
Well, there are. I mean, this is a relatively local, smaller town phone book.
Okay.
It lists local things. You're about
Okay.
20 miles out of town.
All right. Nope.
There
Actually,
are lodges. There is a lodge, but it's not, the one you know of.
Right.
what's this phone book like? Chained to something, or probably like on a?
Yeah, it's got a little wooden slat that that it's slid into, and there's a little chain. You could just pull it apart and take the phone
Yeah.
if you like.
I'll do that.
Oh, now the next person won't have a phone book to look into. Just broke
It's not-
federal law. Now they're going to chase us down instead. They're taking it out.
I knew you do something illegal in this town.
Mhm.
Now it happens.
At least we can
just-
start a fire.
I just look at Dr. Brody with an incredulous look on my face and shake my head.
In 2020, people be throwing these out.
I haven't even seen one in about 10 years.
All right, so I'm driving back to Tallahassee then.
Yep.
Wait. Jimmy's idea. Why don't we just stop by a local like Church of Christ or something and
Why
ask?
not?
They're everywhere.
It's got to be one
The
right
phone
here.
book. The phone book has church of. You can or
Just like look for a steeple. Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. You not a problem. You can easily find a church, and I'll just make it random. Do you guys have United Churches down there? It's like a Protestant church of some sort, like not an evangelical one, but not Catholic. It's some
Or the First Church of Christ, or
yeah, something like that.
All right, let's park here. Who wants to do the talking? We're just gonna ask.
Yeah, sure.
I'll get out and walk up to the office.
Okay.
Go for it.
There's a little manse beside the church, little house that the minister lives in, reverend minister, whatever.
Hello.
Hello. The older gentleman comes up. Yes, can I help you? Yes.
Is the reverend in today? Can we talk to him?
Just a moment. I'll go get him. And the fella walks away. Says, "Could I ask who's calling, please?" Reverend's at his
I'm.
dinner.
Oh, my name is Dr. Owen Brody. I just want to ask him a couple of questions. We're new in the area.
Oh, just a moment, please. It's a Dr. Brody. He's new to the area. They have some questions about something. And he's ushering you in. How many of you are going in? Just
I don't know how many. Do you all want to come in? Y'all follow me if you want. or hang outside?
I'll stay with the car. My head's throbbing.
It's a relatively small house.
I could rather
Okay.
do with a sit down.
Oh yeah, come on, Percy.
Brings you in. There's a sitting room. Says, I'm sorry, we're just in the middle of dinner. Would you like some tea or something, or coffee?
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt your dinner.
No,
No, don't bother with for anything for us. Unless Percy might need some water.
Do you need a glass, sir, of water or anything?
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Great. Brings you a drink, and a minute later you see that a gentleman comes out. He's drying his hands on a cloth. He lays it carefully, and he has the reverend minister type look about him. He says, "Oh, good evening, gentlemen. I'm sorry you caught me at something. What can I do for you? Can I help?"
Oh well, we're traveling from the north down here into Florida. We're staying in Tallahassee. We were out for a drive, and we're just wondering, what when your church services are, and we went by a big revival tent out there in the.
Oh.
What's that all about? Because you've got nice churches.
You're not. I'm assuming you're not from this part. You're not from here. It's Brother Daniels, as he calls himself. He's not a. I don't like to speak ill of anyone who says he's a man of God, but he's been there for many years now. He moves around from place to place when it gets a little hot for him, so to speak. Some of the locals may not appreciate him drawing away their young folk. I don't really know what brand of Christianity he's putting forward, because I've never been, and I don't know anyone that's ever been, except for a few that were members of the flock of ours, and they went, and they never came back. They went off and joined his little village in the swamp, as I call it.
Well, no, up north we don't have people in tents. That seems really unusual, and there seems to be signs everywhere.
Oh, they put them up, and on private property they put them up.
What do you mean about a village in the swamp?
Oh, he has a little encampment. He's purchased some land, or they've purchased some land somewhere north off the other side of the border in Georgia, and he has these little revival tents all over the place. And he brings people in, he speaks to them, and if someone is worthy, he draws them away, and they go and live in his little village, and they spread the word more. They're like a virus.
Sounds like a cult.
But they haven't really, they don't come into town very much, and when they do, I have a feeling they come into town in disguise, because they're very easy to pick out. They're always in dungarees and white dress shirts with a tie, which could be anybody who's working nowadays, but generally you can pick them out. Their heads are always shaven, and they have this glossy look in their eyes.
And you say they're just inside Georgia, in the swamp?
Yes.
Wow. It's an odd place to have an encampment.
I've heard rumors, but
I asked him a lot of questions too about his church, just to make it sound like that's really what I'm interested in.
Oh, he gets the impression right away that you're ready to join up, and you're all going to show up on Sunday, and he's got a few committees he could use people on, and bake sales coming up, the usual.
Well, it's a shame that people like that have to show up in the neighborhood and steal away your flock.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, people have the right to choose wherever I'm a moderate person. They have the right to choose what church they go to. It's more their ways of doing it. They're promising them, like we promise the afterlife if someone does things according to the rules and the laws of the Lord. They promise things happening now. It's not the reward is not after a good life with them. The reward is living in squalor in some swamp village.
Well, does not sound like it. But they must put on some sort of show, though, with that big tent out there. And you don't know. You haven't been there.
I haven't been, but I know that you can hear it from the road. Let's say the tent's shut, but you can hear there is laughter and yelling and hooting music, and it's
Laughter.
interesting.
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Reverend. Do I call you Reverend?
Oh, Reverend is fine. Yes, yes.
All
Reverend
right.
Jones, and thank you. I hope to see you on Sunday.
Thank you very much.
You're
All right.
seen out.
So, gentlemen, do you want to drive into Georgia? Do you want to drive into Georgia tomorrow,
Well,
Saturday?
you know, that does sound rather interesting.
Yeah, village in the swamp. What could go wrong?
Well, we could. I'm told we could fall prey to chiggers.
Well, let's hope we don't get chiggers.
Apparently,
think,
they're prevalent in swampy regions.
Down here in Florida, I think you better worry more about those crocodiles and stuff.
Aren't crocodiles rather large, though? You should be able to see them coming.
Yeah, that's what you think.
All right, well, let's head back, get some rest.
All right. Are you going to the same hotel you were at before? I don't.
Oh,
Because you're on the other side of Tallahassee. Oh no, because you were yeah, other side of Tallahassee.
and we got attacked, too, didn't we?
Mhm.
Somebody trying to break in. I don't know. Do we have all of our stuff in the car?
I assumed you checked out. Yes.
Okay.
You
Then-
had,
Yeah, if we weren't planning on going back, we would.
Yeah, we'll try to find another place. Hey, did that guy last night who broke in have dungarees and white shirt?
he had dungarees, a leatherish kind of biker kind of jacket, like a I don't know what you call it, a mechanic jacket. He looked like a mechanic to you guys. But yes, underneath his jacket, he did have a white shirt. Now there's no tie, but it was a white collared shirt over a t-shirt.
He was in disguise. All right.
Take off
let's-
the
So you're
tie.
telling me this guy was wearing a t-shirt, a white collared shirt, and a leather jacket in the South?
Mhm.
Hmm.
In June, like end of June. Yes, he looked warm.
Well, it's
I'd
always
say.
best to wrap up, isn't it?
Don't want to catch a chill.
Yes.
You can
In the
take layers
swamp.
off. if
Just
you need to.
adjust my raccoon fur coat that I'm wearing.
All right. So we find a new hotel.
Easy enough. Are you looking for just a motel type again, or a more substantial place to stay?
Do you think a more substantial place would be more secure? They're not going to let some thug walk in the door. Let's do
Maybe.
that. Let's do that.
Maybe we should just get one big room too, and like maybe set
A
a
suite?
watch or something.
Yeah, I think we can afford that.
Okay. Yep. There's a. Let me see. Oh, easy enough. There is a inn. It's called an inn, but it's a hotel, and it's 3 stories and like maybe 20 rooms total. It's a fair sized hotel, and it's in the general vicinity that you're located in. Not a problem.
All right. So we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Bunk
set
down
up.
for the night.
Yeah, other than food and drink and sleep, that's all I can think of doing.
We'll set watches.
Set watches. The food's easy enough. There's room service as well as a restaurant in the hotel, which your basic restaurant bar kind of thing in a hotel of the time. There is a room. There's a suite available. It has 2 double beds, but it also has a pull-out couch.
That's
Relatively
perfect.
amazing thing that they have there.
Mhm.
And that's it. There's a phone book, there's a Bible, there is the lamp, there is a window facing the parking lot where your car is. There is a telephone that rings to room service and a radio. That's pretty much all you, other than a bathroom, and that's all you've got.
Okay. Other than I'm gonna use somewhat of the same precautions as I did last night, so that if anybody disturbs the suitcases, I get like a tug on my arm to wake me up.
I get the tire iron out of the car.
Okay. Are you taking
So if
your
anybody-
weapons up?
Hang
I'm
some
not
bells on
preparing
the.
you for anything. I'm just wondering.
No,
Hey.
that is my weapon.
Didn't you just buy a shotgun list?
Did I?
You
Oh, I
stopped
did
at the
buy a
store?
shotgun. You're
You
right.
did.
Yeah. I
You
forgot
bought a
about that.
shotgun.
I forgot to write that on my character sheet.
And Stanley, I think, bought a hacksaw.
Yeah, you're right.
Stand there at the door. Soft guy's handoff.
A hacksaw? Oh, right, to make it into a sawed-off, right?
Yep.
All right.
Thanks for reminding me, Jimmy.
Good night,
Oh
folks.
yeah, I forgot about that.
All right.
Well, do you want
That's
to
your room.
shorten it now or shorten it later, John?
We might as well shorten it now.
All right. You want me to roll for this, Sean?
Nope. You can where I'll even leave it up to you. Where do you wish to saw off this shotgun barrel?
Are you sure you don't want me to roll for NFA violation? Oh, that's not a skill. Never mind.
It's not a skill.
But
But I will ask. What are you gonna just? So you're just going to saw off the barrel,
yeah,
like
six
in front
to.
of the.
So is it a double barrel?
It's your standard double barrel shotgun with 2 triggers
All right.
and 2 thumb triggers, if you want them.
All right. So 6 to 7 inch barrel. Cut it about there.
Okay. All right.
Here it is.
Do you want the stock to stay on there, or do you want to
Turn it into
turn this
Blade
into
Runner
a-
pistol.
a nasty little pistol thing?
I'm gonna break your wrist
Wait,
the moment
oh,
you
you-
fire it.
You saw off the. No, I think we better keep the stock on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll get that
Well,
all
roll-
written on my character sheet now.
I'll just. Okay. All good. You have a sawed-off shotgun. What are you gonna do with the barrel part? Just chuck it in the garbage, or make a planter out of it?
Hold on to it. Hold on to it for a little bit, and deposit it elsewhere.
Make a flute.
Double barrel flute.
Panpipes too.
Oh, if you have 2 different lengths, but you have the mouthpieces lined up so that you hit both of them with like 1 gust, you could have this awful atonal thing that would just be lovely.
It's entirely doable. You've got the time. All right. No issues throughout the night. No knocking at the doors. There's nothing. Is anybody planning on doing anything other than eating, sleeping, and making sawed-off shotguns?
He's
Listening
got
to
me
the
covered.
radio. The radio's there if you want, but I'm assuming you're all just tired. Morning comes. Boom. Sun comes in through the window. You're awake. Saturday morning.
All right.
All
So
right.
we're gonna.
Let's get some breakfast and head up to Georgia. Right?
Yeah, we'll check out and put all of our stuff in here.
Okay. You check out. You get some food.
So just to be clear, we're going to drive around the swamps of Georgia looking for an encampment.
Well, once again, we're hoping
Well,
we're going to see signs.
they gave us a general direction. So let's drive
Okay.
up there. And oh yeah, she said just across the Georgia border, just north there.
Might
So
just have to ask some more people.
exactly.
Look for dungarees.
Okay. All right. You eat. You load up your car with gas. Sorry, everything flickered there. You check the oil. Car's running fine so far, but I'm going to make one little roll. So you have been driving a lot, and it's
You want me to
fine.
do a mechanical repair on it?
Yeah.
check?
Does anybody have that or no?
Yes, I do.
Could you do that, please? I was just starting to think about the mileage on this thing.
Okay, that's a 6.
Nice.
Okay. Excellent. Well, you check it over. You change the oil. You change whatever. You clean some stuff. You spend about an hour in the morning tinkering with it. You do put some air in, 2 of the tires, the usual kind of piddling around stuff. There's a couple fan belts or a couple belts that probably need to be dealt with at some point very soon. That's it.
Timing belt
Guess
needs replaced.
The time, the alternator.
The serpentine.
All right. So off. Are
When's
you
the
heading up
last time you changed blinker fluid on this thing?
I don't know. I stole the car, so I don't know.
It is
No.
a little bit cramped. You probably think you might have been better off to keep the Mr. Dearworth's car.
You fit 8 people in that car. All right. Well, I'll start driving.
All right. Are you heading up the same highway that the signs were on?
Yeah, heading in that direction.
All right. You're heading up. You eventually pass by the spot of the revival. A couple vehicles there now. The truck that was there before has moved to a different location. The truck that the fellows were in with the signs in the back. And now you can see, now that you've been prompted to look for it, you see the signs that also have sinners and that written on. They were taking down damaged signs and replacing them with new ones when you saw them.
Okay.
They don't wave as you drive by. They don't see you. There's a couple other cars there, just people milling about. You assume they're probably getting ready for the Sunday service. You drive north. You drive a couple of hours. Well, not a couple of hours, an hour north. You cross the border. I think it's an hour. Let's just assume. You cross the border into Georgia. And you actually see more signs. And some of them are pointing in the direction of where you're going. But as you go a little farther north, you see another sign. It says Brother Daniel's Revival, Saturday, Fargo,
There we go.
Georgia.
Goodness, it's not Fargo, Minnesota.
Oh, that would suck since
Take us.
I don't think we'd make it in time.
No.
That'd be quite the drive.
Let's see if we can get to this revival. Maybe if
It
we get
starts
to
at
it by the
noon.
end. Ah, good. Only had two services on the Sunday one, so yeah.
All right.
Good by noon.
You got some time to get there. In the sign, it's easy to follow the signs. They just keep pointing. Now, it's a bit of a drive. I mean, it's a few hours. You have to go north of the border, and then you have to head back east. And eventually, you get closer and closer to Fargo, and you see a few more signs. And then you see a great big sign that says, it's an arrow down a side road. I mean, you see it ahead of time. You don't just come up on it. And it says, Brother Daniel's Revival, Saturday, 12. And it's got a big arrow. It's a little happy face drawn on the sign. And it's down a side dirt road, and there's cars ahead of you. There's a lot of cars heading down this road.
Right. I guess we're here.
Yeah, looks like that's the place we got to go. I'm gonna get
All
some
right.
eyes on this guy now. Yeah.
I
So
wonder
that's
if
where you're heading.
when we're talking to him, I'm talking to everybody else. Maybe we should bring up Clayton Perry, his son. I mean, that might be a way in to talk to him.
I'll follow your lead, Doc.
All right.
Okay. You head down, and the traffic gets a little tighter, and the road gets a little more cramped. Eventually, you see cars pulling off into a field, and there's an established parking area, and there are old beat up cars. There are new cars. It's like every walk of life of person seems to be at this revival pulling in, and there's families and individuals, and there's old geezers, and then a few young people on their own, and same setup as before. Big tent, another area off to the side where you see people are actually cooking food, and lots of tables and chairs and or whatever, stools and stumps, all kinds of things to sit on. And you see at the front there's a lineup to get into the tent, and it's probably 11 o'clock, an hour before the actual services to begin. But there's an hour before it, but there's people lining up, like probably about 100 people.
All right. Well, if we have to, we'll sit towards the back. Maybe that's the
That's
safest place
probably
that we can
preferable,
get-
right? If you don't want this guy to see you anyway, right?
Well, he won't know us, but so that we can get the hell out of the tent really quick if we need to. when the Migo god shows up.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Is there anything about the presentation of all this that suggests anything about the nature of the performance?
Not on the signs that you have seen, no.
Right.
The pamphlet does give some indication that this is a apocalyptic kind of group, that the end is nigh, and Brother Daniels is here to help you survive something that is coming, and he's the only answer, he's the only solution. So they're what do you call the believers in the
Millennialists.
Fanatics.
there's a term for it. I think your vice president is one of them, where they believe that
Dominionists.
Dominionists, where people are going to be taken
Fascists?
away. I'll remember the word eventually. It's the people who believe that like all the sinners will be left on earth and all the others will be taken
Oh,
away.
the rapture.
Rapturists,
Tribulationists.
Yeah.
Rapturists, yes.
I think technically they're called millennialists because they believe that the devil will be here for 1,000 years, and
I thought it meant he was coming in 2000. He never made it.
Oh, just the millennials made it.
Or he doesn't have a job, but he doesn't care because he doesn't. I was making a hipster joke. So, you're lining up, or what are you doing? I mean, there's food. People are going to get food before or after. It's whatever they're feeding.
I'm very wary about eating anything that I'm sure it's fine, but I don't want to take the chance that there's some sort of hallucinogen they're feeding these people. Y'all can have some.
I've got my 5th deviled egg shoveled in my mouth, as Dr. Brody says, and it's like,
Jimmy loves free food.
Oh my God, deviled egg sounds so good right now.
deviled egg, get it?
Oh my God, Percy has vanished.
He walked into this void.
Yeah, it smells good. Maybe I'll eat a little.
All right. Well, anybody that wants to eat, there's no issues. It's just, it doesn't make you feel funny. You don't feel drunk or high or anything strange. And it's a bare bones amount of food. It's like, have a little nibble of this, a couple pickled eggs here and there, some deviled eggs, maybe some vegetable. I don't know. There wouldn't be a vegetable plate. People didn't eat
Potato
back then,
salad.
did they? Potato salad, just the bits and pieces. After they say, just come back after the service, we're going to have some chicken and we're going to have some fish and this and that. These are just snacky foods for now. So if you want to eat, you can eat. If you don't, and then there's no side effects, it seems.
Right.
People are enjoying it. There's lemonade, lots of lemonade, and iced tea, unsweetened
tea.
the way you weird Americans drink it.
Oh no, that's in the South. It's all sweet tea.
Oh, is it sweet tea? Oh,
yeah.
I see.
It's ridiculously sweet. Like they put like
And then it's more of a syrup.
quart,
Yeah.
Yeah, a
it's
quart
syrup.
has like 10
Yeah.
tablespoons of sugar in it or something.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's more of a syrup poured over ice.
Wow.
I made
Yeah.
some once by a recipe a friend of mine from the South gave me, and it was disgusting. I had to reduce the sugar by what did I reduce?
Half.
It by 80%,
Oh, yeah.
80%, and it was still super sweet.
It's about right.
Still really sweet.
Oh wow. Well, they have that, and and they have fish, and they have this and that coming up. So the food, there are
John
people
will totally
walking
be
around.
partaking in the refreshments because he's
Oh.
never gets this kind of food.
Okay.
The southern food.
Okay. Well, this is just the snacky food. The big meal for everyone is after this service. And there are people walking around handing out pamphlets, though. Same pamphlets as you receive from the other fellas, except it's got a map to this location instead.
Right.
Same information. So there you go.
It's a diabetic roll.
Like last week's remembering roll.
Sugar high roll.
So
Man,
yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm
can
sorry.
can you believe all this stuff, Stanley? I mean, geez, these guys really take their Jesus stuff seriously, don't they?
Oh my
They're
guess
taking
is
something serious.
my guess is that the roast pork and stuff is coming out afterwards.
You know that's gonna
Well-
go straight to your hips, right?
I could pretend to be religious for a couple hours longer. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just don't get it on me.
Guys, be on guard. We're talking about magic here. So
Yeah.
this
What's
whole
this? What's this
followers
about the power thing?
that he
You
might
think-
be able to control how people feel about him. So
Do you think it's a good idea to be going into one of his services if he's got the power thing?
my guess is he only does it for his followers, the ones that you got to kind of belong first before they're going to let you.
The ones with the glassy eyes that
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
The dungarees.
I'm gonna look around at the other people.
Mm-hmm.
Do they all have kind of a glassy-eyed, vacant look about them?
A lot of the people here are just people from the surrounding area. They're coming here
Okay.
on Saturday to get a service and free food on a Saturday. They got nothing else to do. You do see it's easy to pick them out, just like the reverend at the other church said. The ones with the folded up white shirts up almost to their elbows, and the ties and the dungarees, they are definitely members of the church. They do have a very vibrant, wide open eye look about them, and they're very smiley and happy. And if someone trips over something, they stop to make sure that person's okay, even if they hardly tripped at all. They're there to help everybody at all times. They want everyone comfortable and complacent.
Okay.
Weird.
Hey Sean, could I you said some of the people were handing out pamphlets, right?
Yep.
Could I approach one of them and find out I'm just offering to help hand out pamphlets?
Oh, absolutely. They say they come with us, and in the corner of one of there's a few little tents here and there where they've got chairs and things like that. They've got a box of pamphlets, and they have they how many would you like? A little stack like this or something?
Yeah, just like a stack, and then I'll stand in the back as people coming in, and I can help hand out pamphlets in the crowd.
Absolutely. Yep. They let you do this. They're more than happy to have help, and they introduce you to one of the sort of like the lead guy who's directing the people that are handing out pamphlets, and he's Brother James, and he says, "Oh yeah, great, absolutely, please. I hope you stay for the whole service and stick around afterwards too. We can always use good help."
Sure, I appreciate it, James. Thanks. Anything I need to tell them when I give them the pamphlets, or just?
Oh, just the pamphlets explain themselves. They
Okay.
If they read these, they should get the message. Okay. Are you all in line, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're in line.
Okay.
We'll sit.
So
Yeah.
everybody's in line.
I'm in line. Stanley, you in line?
Yeah, if you're dragging me in.
Stanley, you know why I stopped going to church, Stanley? Like, God's all seeing, all knowing, whatever, right? Omniprescient or something like that. They said, yeah.
Yep, that's the word.
So why does he always need money? Well,
You
Because he
know,
wants it. It's green. Um,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
keep your eyes out. If there's like an inner sanctuary or something where he keeps the artifact. See, we could just watch today, and then tomorrow we could go to the other one and sneak around and get whatever it is he's got.
yeah. I'll be totally casing the place, I guess, trying to look for
Yep.
places where would I hide the valuables if I was running this joint,
All right. Well, make. I mean, you're in line. You're at the front of the tent. You all move in eventually. There's not much to see from the lineup, but when you're inside, you can see that there is another addition to the tent at the rear. There's a stage that's been put up front, a podium or dais, whatever. On top, a few chairs behind. There's a piano, like a little portable player piano kind of thing that someone's rolled in and put on some pallets. And you see that in behind there's definitely a doorway that's flaps that open, and there's another area in behind that you can't see into. You do see people coming in and out, and it's hot in there as Dr. Brody is fanning himself, and there are women that have fans and men that are fanning themselves with the pamphlets. And that area in the back seems to be the only place that, from the outside or the inn, where you haven't been able to see into. Everything else is open.
So this is all still part of the tent, though, right?
Inside the tent, it's another, like, it's like there's an addition to the tent in
Yeah,
the rear.
yeah, it's still part of the tent. What I mean is there's no solid walls, doors, things like that.
Nope.
Could I figure out about where I'd have to go to try to get it from outside?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right at the
I'll
very rear, between it and the river.
I'll make note of that. And then once the whole service starts to kick off, I'm going to sneak out of the place. We said we're sitting towards the back anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to sneak out and try to see if I can get around to, get up under the tarp or whatever. Try to see what's in that area.
Okay. All right. Service starts, and it is your standard evangelical, revivalist, apocalyptic, millennial, rapturist
Revival
revival.
service.
The whole revival service bit. There's some singing. It's a little toned down from what you would see nowadays, I'm sure. No technology, no microphones, no electric guitars, but it is what that sort of thing would be back then. And you have various speakers come up, and it's a long drawn out thing, and they keep apologizing for the heat, but everyone has to suffer in life, and we're all suffering together, blah blah blah. And towards it finally reaches a peak, and people are cheering and clapping, and the person is telling jokes. And to any of you any of your characters who have ever been to church, you're not used to jokes in church, and it's very strange that there's jokes, there's informal people asking for when they bring people up on stage, they're asking them their first names, they're not calling them Mr. or Mrs. And they're calling everything's first name, brother this, sister that, and they call everybody brother and sister. It's very different from what any of you are used to.
Yeah.
And it reaches a peak, and then the peak sort of plateaus, and they say, and thank you everyone for the service today, and now a word from Brother Daniel. And finally Brother Daniel comes out, and Percy, Jimmy, and Dr. Brody, could each of you make spot hidden is probably the closest, and then yeah, sure.
18. Yes. Is that a hard?
Okay.
That is a hard.
I've got just a standard pass.
Okay. Jimmy?
Failed by 2.
Okay. Jimmy, you feel, I've seen this guy before. Percy, you look, and you, as a man of your age, you think, oh, I see it. And Dr. Daniels, you meticulously, as a biologist, are going, oh, I see the similarity.
Yeah.
This is Clayton
Carlton
Perry's
Perry.
father.
Yeah, Clayton
This is
Perry's
Clayton
father.
Perry's father. It's absolutely Clayton Perry's father. He's 60 something now.
Right.
He's a lot older, but it's like if someone fast forwarded the Clayton you know in time to be a 65-year-old man. And he gets up on stage and he thanks everyone for being there, and he's a bit tottering, and he has a limp. There's a limp on his left leg, and it doesn't seem like a limp that's been with him for very long. It's almost like he's got a cane with him that doesn't. It seems to be the wrong length for what he's using it for. He gets up on stage, he thanks everyone, he goes through his whole spiel about how he was once a doctor and he was the son of wealthy persons, and he escaped to Northern Ontario, and he witnessed the devils and evil coming to life on Earth, and he escaped the corporate world, and he came back and he tried to be a doctor again, and he tried to take part in community. He throws out again. He says he was joined Masonic Lodge, his father's lodge, and damned if he didn't find them to be servants of evil as well. And they pretended to help him, but they weren't really helping him, and he had to escape on his own. And he went north, and he founded this church, and he has a town. He's created his own little town. It's his own little city, and it's the star of the South. And he has his own city, and he wants persons to come live with it, but you have to be accepted. You have to be accepted. So if there are any volunteers to come live in his town to help, he could use 5 able-bodied persons. And because the people come and go, you're allowed to leave at any time, but he's always willing to take on new persons as interns, as sort of to learn the work and move out into the world to help spread the gospel. So he says, please, tomorrow morning we will have a bus waiting here. The bus will be heading to our town. If you wish to come see one of our people after the service, and he points to like 3 or 4 people over there that have like clipboards or whatever. I guess they had clipboards back then. And they will take your name and let you know tomorrow morning when you come back if you are able to join. And he thanks everyone. He says, see you at the food hall, or food pavilion, whatever he calls it. And just more music, more clapping, and the people with the clipboards move outside. He moves in through the back door out into the little tent area in the back, and everyone starts to slowly rise, and oh, it's so hot, and they're all so happy, and they file out and start filing out of the tent.
Now, as soon as Brother Daniels was announced as about to come out, right? That's probably when I would have made my exit, my slip out. Because I figure when he's talking, that's when everybody's going to be the most distracted.
Right.
That's what I expected, that you were going to do that. Yes. So he's talking away, doing his spiel, and you have now make a stealth roll, I will say.
That is a 15, which is a hard success.
Okay. You discern that the best way is not through the door, of course, because there are people at every doorway. But you slowly slip, you stand, and the good thing is everybody's standing and clapping and sitting. It's not like a traditional church where everyone's sitting and watching and listening. People are standing and milling about, but they're paying attention to the stage. Nobody's focused on you, and you move to the back of the crowd. You bend over to tie up your shoe, and whoop, under the edge of the tent you go.
Yep. Okay.
You're outside.
Now I'm going to work my way around the back towards the river. And I'll try to find out what's in that kind of, well, I don't want to call it secret area, but that secured area of the tent, the part we haven't been allowed into yet.
All right. It's not hard. There's nobody outside on this would be the west side of I have to look at a compass in my head. The west side of the north, south, east, west. The west side of the tent, you move along that edge. You do see people in the distance walking around who are people who are with his church, and they are all talking to each other, or they're tending to cars, or they're moving over to the food area. You're able to get to the back, and you see that it is a square, much smaller tent area that is attached to this tent, and there's an opening at the rear. You see people coming and going.
Oh, really?
Well, not very many. I mean, that's where you see that. That's how you tell there's
Okay.
no entrance. You
Gotcha.
see people and going, and there's a vehicle parked in behind, which is a beat up but a fairly nice sedan, but it's kind of beat up and dusty and dirty and muddy.
Okay. I want to slip around over near where that little entrance is. See if I hear anybody talking inside.
You don't hear anybody talking inside, but what you can see in the opening, because the flaps are open, there are 3 fellas standing with their arms crossed, and they're not dressed in dungarees and white shirts. They're dressed like the heavies in suits. I mean, they're watching, and one has a driver's hat on, and they're watching the show, and they seem to be paying a very close attention, looking around the crowd from, there's little, you can see now there's little peepholes in the. And this room is dark. This little area is dark, and it really is just an area at the back of the tent where the guy comes and goes, or people come and go. And there's like an acoustic guitar, a banjo, and some other things in there.
No alien
they're
artifacts, no lock boxes.
Nope.
Okay. All right. I'll get back out of here then before I get myself in trouble, get caught or something. Work my way back around and into the tent and watch the rest of Brother Daniel's bit. Watch it. I'm really bored by it, but
well, as you approach the area where you slipped under, they say, "Oh, come in, come in." They just assume you went out and found a washroom or a tree or something. They, come back in, or like come in. They don't know that you've left. So you're back in, and the service ends. Everybody's filing out. What are you guys doing?
I'll say to Dr. Birdie, probably once I went back in anyway, I'd say the back area, it's just like a little entranceway. It's got a few guys back there, though, that look like, they look like heavies.
I think that, I don't know. I was thinking about just talking to him and letting him know that we know who he is.
Doesn't look like he's doing too well for himself. He's got a beat up old car out back there.
I'm afraid that he might bolt. Because he's afraid of Dominion, for one thing. They've been hunting him for a long time. And if he thinks that we're them, he'll bolt. He's done it before.
So you want to just try the honest approach?
Well, that's kind of what I'm afraid of. Maybe we should hang back and follow them back to their little village when they're done here today. Or should we join? They're looking for 5 able bodies. We got 4.
Able bodies? I look at Percy.
Yes, so we have 4.
Stanley.
Yeah, how are the scars in the back of my head looking?
Looks like a smiley face.
I feel like actually I think these stitches should probably come out. It's been what is it? It's almost been a week.
You got a few more. You're back up another 3 hit points. I've already rolled.
I'm at max.
If we're gonna join,
I'm back at full
we
health.
We gotta get on the bus in the morning, Sunday morning. Yeah. So that'll take us out supposedly to the village. That's what they said, right?
Right. Or we could follow him back there tonight.
Well, he'll be off doing his revival stuff in Tallahassee.
That's right.
Might not be a bad thing for us to be there at the village while he's away.
So I don't know. My glasses aren't set up for that kind of distance, but did his cane seem a little long? More like a swagger, like a swagger stick or something.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. Something about that struck me as odd.
Well, let's make a decision. Do we follow him back, or do we follow? We could follow him wherever he goes tonight. If he's going to stay in a hotel or something, and we could talk to him privately.
Yeah.
You know, if he's sick, they a young ruffian on us when we were in our motel. I mean, we could return the favor.
I don't think that I don't know, maybe. I don't know why I get the feeling that they can smell the artifacts. Because how could they have known that we were in that hotel? Unless Adam's the one who hired that guy.
Possibly.
We could confront
Plus,
him
what
here.
what did the little punk say? Was it give them to me or give it to me?
I don't actually recall.
Or we'll be back, or
He was looking
Oh.
for something, but he wasn't specific at all. And then Percy walloped him.
He said something along the lines of, "Yeah, we'll be back."
he implied that there were more than one of them.
He
Yeah.
definitely said we. I remember you saying that. So, I don't know. I'm cool with whatever you want to do. You want to confront him here? Just let me get my shotgun out of the car. I'll back you up.
All right, let me go talk to him.
It's
All right.
not hard.
So-
He literally moves into the crowd
All right.
where the food is.
So I work my way slowly towards him. I'm sure other people are shaking his hands and talking to him. And as soon as I get close enough, I smile. I'm like, "Oh, Reverend Daniel, I'm very glad to finally meet you,
Oh, it's just Brother Daniel, but hello.
Brother Daniel." Does he? I want to use psychology on him to see if he recognizes us, which he shouldn't.
Are all of you
No,
together?
it's just me.
You can roll. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not too far away wearing a
Right.
suspicious looking coat with a bulge
No.
under it.
I don't really notice anything. I'm like, I'm so glad to finally meet you. And I lean in smiling and I say, I'm a good friend of your son.
My son. And where did you meet my son?
Your son
My
Clayton.
son.
Your son Clayton.
His eyes widen and he looks frightened, angry, and then it's back.
Okay.
He's back to normal. And he says, "Well, would you care to have some food? I'm going to sit at the table here with these young gentlemen here." And he just picks a random table, it seems. He says,
Okay.
just come, let's have a talk.
All right. So I'll sit down with him.
All right. He sits down. He gets a plate of food. He says, "Feel free." And he gets a plate of food. And he sits down. He's got standard Southern fare in front of him. He says, "So where did you meet my son?"
Well, I mean, I can tell you the story, if this is okay with you. I met your son in Pardue Mills up in British Columbia.
He snickers. He says, "I know that it's not in British Columbia. I've been there myself, as you know."
Well, that's where he was. Apparently
British Columbia.
Isn't that where it is?
It's Ontario.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting two
the
games
other-
mixed up.
It's
all
got
right.
the pipeline on the brain.
That was
Pipeline.
the pipeline. All right. So I don't think British
okay.
Columbia.
I'll rewind. Yes. Okay. So you said
Mills.
Ontario as well.
Right, Ontario Mills.
I haven't been there for a very long time.
No. My name is Dr. Brody. And
Dr. Brody, yes.
And I was studying the migration of the raccoon caribou.
Yes.
There was a major disruption in the caribou, and your son and I went with some of my other friends, went looking to find out what happened to the caribou, and we found some rather horrific and monstrous things up there in the hills.
Well, Isn't that interesting? Because that's very similar to what I saw when I was there
Mm-hmm.
a long time ago. Very long time ago.
Back when you worked for Dominion.
Yes. Not the best days of my life, but it led me to this now. It led me to my calling.
Hmm.
So, what would you like from me, sir?
Sir, Dominion.
Doctor.
Dominion is getting close. And we are trying to prevent them from getting a hold of certain items. Or rather, a certain item.
And why are you preventing them? What's in it? What's in it for you?
I don't honestly know. I don't know why we're doing this. We have reason to believe that Dominion is up to something rather nefarious. Deersworth Sr. is dead.
Oh, really? Arthur.
Yes.
Hmm.
And his son may be behind it.
Well, behind his death, you're saying?
Possibly.
Implying.
And certainly behind trying to get a hold of the artifacts. I think that he wants, I don't know what he wants. It all
Nobody should
sounds so
want
crazy
those.
to me. But, sir, we need that third artifact. We intend on getting rid of it.
I destroyed that artifact many years ago when I found my calling. I smashed it with a hammer into pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw it into the bayou, into the swamp.
Okay.
It was a symbol of my ties to Dominion and my previous life and my father, and I destroyed it and threw it into the swamp, and I built my village right on top.
Where's your village?
Why don't you come with us tomorrow? Why don't you come to see it?
All right. Sounds good.
Well, meet us here tomorrow morning at a good brisk 7 a.m. and we'll have yourself a good long breakfast because it's a long ride. And you can join us. We're getting applicants over there right now for some new workers because some of our people have decided to leave. And well, you're welcome to visit and see what we've built with our people, with our church, with our faith.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow then. And I get up and I walk away. I come over and I tell you guys what I told him. And I also say, I have every reason to believe that he is going to head straight back to where the artifact is as soon as he dismisses himself from here. And we need to follow him. Because I think I freaked him out. I don't know if I freaked him out or not, but
Do you want to roll another psychology roll?
I don't have that much psychology yet. No.
Okay.
I'm banking on the fact that now that
Could I make a
that
psychology
know,
roll since I was kind of watching the doc?
Yes, you can. You're watching intently. I'm assuming you're also watching around too.
Oh, of course, yeah, because I'm looking out for fucking heavies. I'm just generally looking shady as hell in this trench coat in the
Yeah, you're the
Georgian
only one
summer.
in a trench coat.
So I rolled a 5 on my psychology, which is an extreme success.
He has tics, facial tics, and you could see it. He looked very calm. And when Dr. Brody was first talking to him before they moved in and sat down, when he became angry and upset briefly, facial tic. When he was talking to Dr. Brody, facial tics. You could see that it's almost like his tell when he's lying or when he's stretching the truth. He made one, especially when he said he destroyed the stone.
Okay.
He kind of smiled a little
Great.
too much.
Yeah, so I'll relay that then. Yeah, he was definitely lying when he said he destroyed the stone.
oh yeah, well, we already know he can't destroy it. So Yeah, my guess is he's got it right there in his camp. He just,
We want to be careful. Yeah, I think we should just follow him. Yeah, I think you're right. Forget about meeting up with them in the morning and getting on a bus, because that sounds like a setup to me.
sure.
All
My
right.
guess is that it's not even a setup. My guess is that he would go grab the stone and run for his life.
Maybe.
You know, he can always start up again somewhere else. But
Well,
we
you know
got.
a lot more about this guy than I do, but
I'm just guessing human psychology. What I would do. It's what we've been doing is running. So let's get in our car and go park ourselves along the road somewhere where we think it's going to head back towards his encampment.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything else? Jimmy, you're working like as a volunteer usher with these people right now, and they're absolutely talking to you like, "Are you going to apply? Are you going to go fill out the form? We could really use someone like you."
Yeah, that's sort of my whole intent, was to make connections, know who's in charge, and handing out pamphlets, try to get some names if possible, sign up for the thing tomorrow morning. And of course, half and I keeping up, because those guys are my ride out of here. So I'm afraid they might leave me here. So I'm sort of,
Well, you're able to see them. I mean, it's a crowd. It's like 120 people plus the
oh, okay.
staff.
Not that
But
big.
you're able to see them, keep an eye on them. You do get to meet like the head usher. You get to meet the guy who's is in charge of the food. You get to meet the guy who's the transportation guy. Um, do you just want to talk to them like they're just general talking and stuff, or
Yeah, I don't even think I'm
Just-
going to pursue any sort of questioning or anything like that. I'm just trying to
okay,
get in their good graces and
yeah,
let them know my name, and
Mhm.
really try not to associate with the other guys, to whatever extent possible.
yeah, easy enough. You sign up for the thing, and the guy looks at your back. It asks you like, what skills do you have, and you put down things like from your skills from your normal work and your life and such, and they go, wow, you're better than half of these people that show up. Half these people are just out of work and they've never really worked a day in their lives. You actually have some abilities. You're in, brother. You show up tomorrow morning and you're in. And
Great.
they pat you on the back and they give you a little card. It's got someone's signature on it and a little red piece of paper, and you can slip it in your pocket. They say, bring this to the bus tomorrow and you're on.
Awesome.
Go get
Great.
yourself some food. Thank you for your help. We're gonna start cleaning up now. You don't have to help, but so they send you off to get some food, and they'll go about their business.
Great.
Okay. So you're all just gonna get back together again and go wait in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting thing happens after you're in the car. I'm assuming are you parking off the side of the road, like off the road, or?
Yeah, so that, like a police cop would do to catch
Yep.
somebody.
That's what I was kind of
going
hoping
by.
for. Well, hoping for. That's what I was kind of assuming. After about an hour, people start leaving. The food is done. They're leaving. They're handshaking, and you can easily see the three heavies and the one beat up old car. Two of them get in the car, and you actually get to see Brother Daniel get in the car as well. There's another vehicle. One of the heavies gets in, and he takes one of the people who's the main speaker, and they head down the other way back towards Tallahassee. And the two heavies with Brother Daniel, they head to beat hell the other direction.
Right.
And but assuming you look at your map and you try to figure out where they're going, well, they're heading in the direction of Fargo, which is an entry point to the Okefenokee Swamp.
Okay. So we will follow them at a discreet distance. With what time is it? Afternoon?
It's the service. You were there at 12. It ended about 2. Everybody ate till about 3. So now it's about 3:30 or so.
Okay. So we don't have headlights or anything. We can stay back far enough to where we can keep a lookout for them as we're
And
going.
it's sunset at like 9:25
Yeah,
or 9:30.
so we got
right now,
hours.
so you're good.
If they're driving fast too on non-highways, which they weren't, they were just starting to build highways in the end of the 20s, weren't they?
Yep.
So
follow
you'd probably
dust
be able to
trail.
follow their dust trail exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't have to follow
Yep.
too close, you know.
And the weather's not bad, so it's dusty and dry, and you've got a. I'll assume you've got a full tank of gas, and you're. I'll also assume you probably grabbed some food as you went because they were offering. Anybody want some food for the drive home? And they've got your paper bags or whatever.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to say that as a consequence of being exposed to such a high volume of food, hospitality, and preaching, I've now fallen asleep in the back of the car.
I would, yes.
I'm a tired little soldier, and I've had a long day, and I'm all tuckered out. I'm curled up in the back with my rifle, which is substituting for my blankie.
Okay.
Which for some reason
First-
made Sean flinch. I don't know why that happened.
Oh, I was hugging, like you're hugging it, like.
Oh right, I thought
I wasn't just
thousands of miles, and I somehow made you reflexively sort of lurch away from me. I can do that in nightclubs. I've never done it over the internet before.
Stanley and Jimmy, could you both make? No, not both of you. Stanley, could you make a spot hidden? I won't make this easier than it has to be.
I doubt that's a success. Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. First
That's
hour.
dust.
Yeah, first hour. I mean, it's not like nowadays it would be a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive. First hour, nothing. Just dusty roads, and you started getting sick of choking on even though they're ahead of you, you're driving in their dust, and it's a bit of a pain. And they eventually stop and get gas at a gas station. You can see well ahead because you're coming down a hill and you see them doing it. They stop for a little while. I'm assuming you don't pull up beside them. You're waiting. They leave, and it's one road. You know where they're going, so you're
Right.
able to stop and get gas yourselves. Second hour, Jimmy, could you make a spot hidden, please? Okay.
-80.
Okay, easy enough. Next hour, again, they stop for a bathroom break and some food because it's getting close to dinner time. They've got some food, but I mean, they probably grabbed food like you, but they wanted to stop and walk around. They get out in the parking lot and stretch, and Brother Daniel's walking around kind of pacing and limping a bit. You can see him from a distance. I'm going to roll for them, though. 1 and 2. Okay. They don't see you, even though you're trying to hide. A little while, not too long after, they get back in the car and off they go. And they reach Fargo. Smallish city, town, village, rather. And then a little while, they pass through it. There's roadway kind of becomes very rough. And then you're getting into the swamp, the Okefenokee swamp. And there's a road that twists and winds and twists and winds. There's no other road. But it does reach a point where, Dr. Brody, could you make a driving skill check? It's more of a
I
trying
have
to
a
keep up.
question too, Sean.
Yes, of course.
I got a 47 out of 40, so I'm going to spend 7 luck to make
Okay.
it.
That wasn't because you're going to have an accident. It's like you're watching them and you're paying attention to driving. So it was really just, did you have to pay attention to driving so much that you lost track of them? So you're able to keep track of them. And I'm assuming that John is helping as well from the front. Like,
Okay.
look, they're up there. Because every once in a while, there's a little road that goes off to the side. Jimmy, what were you going to say?
I don't know why we were doing the spot hidden, so I'm just throwing this out there that since we got jumped in the hotel, I'm like on super alert for being followed. So
Mhm.
I'm like constantly looking behind us with I feel like we're being followed no matter what from now on.
Yep.
So if that affects my roll in one way or another, it's
Yeah, well, you're both going to do another one right now, though. You and
okay.
and John. So both of you, please make another spot hidden.
You mean him and Stanley, or him?
Or
and
Stanley,
John?
I'm sorry. Yes, not John. Yes.
I failed again. 78.
You're looking everywhere.
That's actually a pass.
How good of a pass?
By 2.
Okay. By 2, you glance back and you catch a glimpse. Flash of light, a glimpse of another vehicle behind you. A fair ways, but it's another vehicle, and it's black and shiny.
I knew it.
We
Fucking
got
hell.
a tail.
I get
It's-
like whiplash as my head whips around. Like,
Did it look like Junior's car?
It did look like Junior's car from a distance.
How
You're
the
not
fuck did he
100% sure
find
they're
us?
keeping.
That rat bastard's following us. I'm gonna lightly tap Percy awake.
I don't care at this point because we've all got guns. Finally get
We'll fight you.
finally get to use
Don't
my Lee
fight me,
Enfield.
fight them. Just be ready just in case, alright?
Are we at the doctor's yet?
Nope.
Oh.
You are almost at the doctor's. You drive for another hour, and Percy's awake and he's muttering because he just woke up, and the car's bumpy. You can hardly hear each other now that you're talking. Dr. Brody, you do understand that they say there's a tail, but you really can't
Right.
hear each other because the road isn't great. You do reach a bridge, and it's a bridge over a creek of sorts. And there's a giant cat. A bridge over a creek.
On the
A
bridge?
over a creek. Yeah. Look at it. It's bluish black. And there's a bridge over a creek, and you have to slow down because they're going over it slowly. It's like not a covered bridge, but it's a
Mhm.
roughly constructed bridge. And then you're no longer on a proper road, and the road bends and twists. And as you twist around the corner, you catch a glimpse down the road of a wooden palisade structure. Like it's on a raised bit of land in the marsh, and it's angular in shape. It's not massive. It's not as it's still a big structure, but it's a bit city block in size.
Is it like a
Not
wooden
really.
fort?
It's like a wooden fort. Hewn logs, 10 feet high, and it's angular. Like it's not square. As you keep driving, you drive a little more. You're taking a guess that this has like points to it, and it kind of crosses your mind. It looks like a star.
Yeah, he called it's the Star of the South.
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought
And
that.
it vanishes from sight, and you're following them. And now it's at the point where you can't see them, but you know where they're going. There's nowhere else for them to go.
Right.
And you're driving, and eventually you reach a part of this road that does sort of open up a bit, and there's areas off to the left and right that aren't really roadways so much as just meadowy kind of things above the bayou, kind of swampy areas. And you can see the roadway goes through a little raised bit of land, and it's like right there. It's like 600, 700 feet away is this city. It's not really a city. It's a rough-hewn palisade. It's
Sure,
someone's crazed idea of a fortress. And there's a front gate, and there are doors on the side, and there's boat launches for like fishing boats and things like that, and about a city block in size.
All right. So what do we do, guys?
Well, I don't think we can just drive in there.
Not without giving ourselves completely away.
Are there other cars
Unless you want to do that
kind of
gung-ho style.
around in one of the open spots?
Nope.
Right. What if we quickly turn down a little side road and we let Adam go forward?
And see what
Because-
he does.
Yeah.
We can try it.
But isn't that what we were trying to prevent this whole time, was for them to get their hands on it?
Well, I mean, they can assault a fortress all they want.
If they get a hold of it, then we'll just take it away from them. I've got a Lee Enfield. I've got a 9mm.
Sounds rather risky.
I wrecked some shells in the double barrel.
We got 5. They've only got, what, 3?
He might have picked up another. You never know.
Yeah, but if they get into a big fight with these people, then
True.
Yeah, remember what happened at the warehouse?
yeah, we haven't seen bugs yet.
Well, as far as we know, we're the only ones with the bug summoning crap.
We've got the summon stone and we've got the control stone.
And you know how to use them?
No, not a clue.
Yeah, but I don't think we have to worry about bugs. Well, big bugs. Well,
Yeah, I hope you're right.
bugs of unusual size. As I swat away a huge mosquito.
BOUSs.
Yeah.
I don't think they
Let's-
exist.
Well, I think that's what that's pull off onto the side behind some bushes or something so that Adam will pass us.
Yeah, we'll see if he
All
does
right.
pass.
It's actually not. You can back your vehicle and your trailer in off the road. Oh,
Am I still pulling that fucking balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. You're able to back your trailer off the road, and it's you're upper area. You're not down low like
Right.
into the actual swamp.
Right.
So it is possible to back it up off the road, and I'm just gonna. Oh no. So they do drive slowly. They creep. Their car passes you, and they sort of where you backed up is about the same location. They slow to a stop. And in the car, you see Adam, and he's sitting in the passenger seat. He's pointing and then in the back, there's 2 guys, and in the front, there's a driver. And they get out, and they look, and they're watching, and they're like trying to figure out what they see. And he directs them, and they move on. They move up the road. Now they're not going to the palisade area, but they seem to go a little farther than you, and they do the same thing you're doing. But they pulled into a little side meadowy thing about 200 feet away.
Should we just come up behind them and
Get the jump on them.
pop their tires or disarm
Oh, are
them?
they going to say murder them?
I was almost going to say murder them, but just disarm them. I don't know. I was hoping they would make a move, and then we'd find out what kind of forces we got up here.
Oh, they're not just standing still. Sorry, I guess if you're continuing to watch them and you're not acting immediately, they do start planning. They do open their trunk. They take out something. They change in their clothing a bit, taking a little more, take just down to t-shirts or shirt sleeves, and which I never understand. Why is it called shirt sleeves? It's short sleeves. And they take out firearms, and then they just sort of they talk among themselves. And Dearworth sits in the car, and he thinks about it, and they're starting to walk away from the car, and he opens the door. He says, "Wait for me." And he goes to the trunk, and he pulls out a pistol, and he heads off with them, and they start sneaking towards the palisade.
So they're heading towards the Palisades. Now
Is
let's
that the
pop
right word? Palisades?
Palisade would be a big wooden wall.
Okay, palisade. There you go.
Yeah. Now I think we should sneak over there and pop their tires.
No. Let me take care of this.
Okay.
Are you looking for rotten fish?
Nope.
You're in the
I'm gonna
bayou.
go over. I'm gonna go over and sabotage the engine.
Well, they didn't lock the car, so that's
Yeah.
Pop the hood. Big, giant, heavy steel hood. Yeah. What do you want to make a roll?
So
I mean, it's not hard to just damage a car engine.
Well, the hottest part of the car, aside from the hottest part of the car that you can access while it's running is either the muffler or the radiator. And depending on what the fuel line is, I would like the hot part of the car to melt the fuel line
Sure.
after
Why don't
running
you
for about 30 minutes. That's what I'm going for.
go ahead? Let's see. That sounds exciting.
Okay, so that is. I will spend 20 points of luck to make that a success.
Wow. Okay. You find do they have coat hangers back then? Wire coat hangers. You find some wire.
Sure.
And you're able to pull the fuel line over, and you're able to wire it in such a way that it is touching against the engine block or the radiator. You do what you want to do, yes, and it's going to be directly in contact with the heat, yes.
Okay.
Your assumption is something will happen after they've been running that car running hot in this weather. It's going to melt the line and blah, 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 blah. If not, kaboom. Well, you need a spark, but okay. All right. Done.
Flash a thumbs up to the guys.
Didn't take you too long. You do see them reach the palisade. Because you are watching them, and they're sneaking around the outside. They're sneaking, and you see them move towards the area where you see the dock and the boats, and you witness them. Some guy comes out, and he's got nets and things like that. He's going out to catch something, and they take the guy out. They take him out, bump, 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 and they drag him off to the side, and then
They fire their guns?
No, they do not. This guy's going out to go fishing, and they just tackle him and take him out, and they go in the door that he came in. So they've entered the palisade.
Okay.
Or the fortress, or Star City, or whatever we want to call it.
Well, now we should listen for gunfire. And just, this is kind of anticlimactic, but let's just wait and see what the hell happens. It might take care of the whole problem for us and come running out with the artifact.
Oh, not so simple. How long do you wait?
I don't know.
I don't think we should wait too long after the gunfire stops.
Oh, there's no gunfire. There's no gunfire.
Oh.
You don't hear gunfire. They go in the door, and
I'm gonna talk quiet.
in fact, how long? Do you wait half an hour?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes. You see another guy come out with a fishing net, and he's going out and he's looking around, and the boat's still there. One of the boats. He's like confused. He puts his net down. He goes back inside.
He doesn't see the other guy?
The other guy, they dumped him in the water, and
Aww.
I assumed an alligator ate him.
Aw. That's not fair. He has a wife and kids back at home, and he's just a henchman.
In Star City.
South.
Well, what do you think, guys? We're waiting. Nothing's happening. I'm starting to have a horrible feeling that what if that guy is able to just take over Adam and his friends?
Well, that would take care of one of our problems, but
Except that now we would have 5 henchmen instead of 3.
fair.
I don't know. Shall we sneak up there?
Well, what color's your balloon?
Oh, it's pretty colorful.
Done. It's not like
It's not
blend
a
in with the
stealth
sky.
Oh.
Blend in with the sky colors. Does the compound have a machine shop, machine shed?
Well, you can't see inside it yet.
It's like we're looking at a big old fort.
You're looking at a 10-foot high wall around, and nothing peaks up above the 10-foot high point.
Right.
I'm wrong. I am wrong. At 2 of the points, where the walls intersect or come to a point, There actually is a platform, but nobody's standing in them right now.
Like a watchtower?
Yeah, like a watchtower. One faces the water, like this river that's going by that's built on, and the other one faces the road, but nobody is standing in them right now.
Can we tell if it's a 5-pointed star?
You can estimate that it looks like, you can see from where you're standing 1, 2, and the point of 3. So yeah, you can estimate that it's probably a 5-pointed star.
Like our objects.
Yep.
Hmm.
Where do you go from here? How would you like to proceed?
All right. So that car is not going to get anyone very far. If Junior and his cronies are successful and get the piece and are able to vacate and book it out of here, then we just follow them. The question is, how much time are we going to give Junior?
Yeah, we've given him 20 minutes already. Maybe we should sneak up there.
Blam, blam, blam,
You hear that? I hear some guns.
blam,
development.
blam, blam. Then pistol shots. Bang, bang.
Oh, I'm taking cover.
It's muffled because it's inside the palisade.
It's all
but you
inside
can hear
there.
it.
Let's see if Junior and his cronies come out.
Yep.
You hear a few more shots. Pistol, shotgun. A minute or so later, you hear some pistol shots. Everybody can make a listen roll, but you need a really good success.
Oh, I got an 8. That is an extreme.
Okay.
I'm 1 point. I'm 1 point off a hard. So, but you got an extreme, so I'm not going to waste the.
Okay.
the luck.
I got a
have
standard
much luck at
success, which is sort of the equivalent of an extreme Percy.
Okay. Dr. Brody, you can relay it to the others. You hear the sounds of people yelling in pain, which you can identify, and you are able to actually identify Adam Dearworth screaming in pain and like a death cry of sorts, like swearing at the persons that they're fighting with, and that's the end of it.
That
Nothing
was
more.
Adam. Adam's dead.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure that was Adam's voice screaming out there.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, rest in peace, you slimy bastard.
Yeah, but now it means that they're armed, and we know they're armed.
Yeah.
There were quite a few shots, though, so we don't know how many they took out. What do we do? Do we assault them? Do we assume now that the preacher's going to
Broad
jump in his
daylight.
car and try to leave?
Maybe.
It's
If only
7
I could
o'clock.
get to the preacher's car too.
If the preacher leaves, there's only one road out that we know of, right? So
That's correct.
you just get your car ready. If he drives out, you can stop him. Block the road.
Why don't we block the road with the other car?
Yeah.
They take a boat.
What if we push the car that's
He,
loaded up
he
to
could,
explode?
he could take a bar. He could take a boat.
Mm.
Yeah, you could take a boat.
Did we see any boats? You said there were docks, but you didn't actually say there were boats. Was there anything docked?
You're
muted,
muted.
Sean.
No.
Sean, you're muted.
Sorry. I was mute. I didn't know I was unmuted. There are 2 fishing boats, the kind that people use for catching alligators or fish. That's why the one fellow came out and he looked and he saw the 2 boats and he was confused because the other guy had gone out already and he went back in. So there's 2 fishing boats for sure.
Where's he
The
going to go in the
long, low-
fishing boats? This is where he can get away. He's going to want to leave the state or go hide somewhere.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Can I tell what kind of motors are on the boats from here? Are they like outboard?
I don't make me Google
Yeah.
things during a game. They
These-
are standard
There are-
fishing boat motors.
But I think what he's asking is, are they built into the boat, or are they the outboard motors that you have on the back of it?
This isn't like the inboard motor where it is a like an entertainment boat, like a casual boat, like a.
Okay.
This is a outboard motor, I would assume, whatever the equivalent is from 1929.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry
Well-
about it. There's 2 boats. If they come out and
Two
get in
boats.
one, we can get in
Well,
the other if we need to.
What if we just completely remove the boats?
Yeah, but
All
you
right.
got to run all the way across to the thing and all the way around to the back side to do that.
I can help you.
Yeah.
I can get you there.
Watch out,
If we
'cause they
go,
got
if
some
we work our way
watchtowers up
around,
there.
maybe.
I could get around. I don't know if you get around.
Well,
You do that, and I'll push the car into the middle of the road with Jimmy's help.
well,
The
we
other
want
group.
the if we're gonna ambush him, we want him further away from the fort, so he can't get help. John, just if you just go and cut all the wires, rip them out on the motors.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll try
Here,
to.
take the screwdriver.
Okay.
I stole it from that car.
No problem. Tearing out wires isn't too technical a work anyway.
No, you can
Well, in
disable
case you
the
need to break
outboard
into the
motors pretty
casing.
Easy.
Do you want me to roll stealth or anything?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I do. Yes. Not so much for being
Okay.
silent as being seen.
it's a success, a regular success.
Okay. You make it to the boats. You can. The door is now shut to the palisade where the entranceway that they
Okay.
had used to get
Do I
the boats.
hear? Can I listen to see if I hear any shouting or anything? Or
Yeah, there's shouting, there's yelling from the inside the palisade as you get close to the door.
Okay.
However, everybody else, please make a spot hidden.
Uh-oh.
I'll spend 3 luck
Yeah,
to
I
make
don't
that
have.
a regular.
I don't have 90 in spot hidden, so
Okay. You see
I'm cleaning
somebody.
my glasses.
Yeah, you're preoccupied. Dr. Brody, you do see someone is now up in the tower. Not the tower, the platform.
Right.
They are in the platform that is above where John is, but they can't see him because of the angle of view. But they're looking out over the water to see. They're just sort of looking around to see if there's someone coming. Your intuition tells you someone's probably going to go up the other tower very soon. Platform,
All right.
whatever.
Well, our car is still kind of hidden.
Mhm.
I don't know if they can see the bad guys, the Adam's car, but they would expect to see something because Adam got there. So
They're not
I'm
looking
not
that way
gonna worry
right
about
now.
that. I'm not going to. Well, if they go up on the tower, I'm not going to
Yep.
worry about it that much. All right.
All right, so John, you're destroying the motors. What are the rest of you doing?
Just waiting to see what happens.
Okay, John, the motors are destroyed. You've disabled the engines. In such a way that you can put them back, though. You've like pulled out the plug cables or something like that and put them in your
Okay.
pocket. Easiest thing to do is just remove them. Your brain, you say to yourself, might need to steal a boat later. And you put them in your pocket.
Makes sense. And it's something John would think of.
Mhm.
Okay. So once that's done, you said something about sneaking around the back of the place?
That's to get to the docks.
Yeah, to get the ducks. So like
Oh.
if you're the entrance is right in
Okay.
front of you.
That's
It's at
right.
the apex of the points, one of the two of the
Okay.
points. You go to your left around the edge, and there's the docks and
Okay.
the boats.
Got it. And that's where that's where I am, and I've disabled the boats. Okay.
Yep.
Let me think. How easy does it look like it'd be to climb this palisade?
If you have a climbing skill, you could probably do it.
Mhm.
It's
I'm a cat. I'm a
literally
cat burglar and a
yeah,
jewel
it's
thief.
literally wooden logs lashed together with rope, and
Mhm.
there's rope every so many feet, and yeah, you could you
If
know you
I'm gonna listen to see if I can hear like it doesn't sound like there's anybody nearby. Then I might try to climb up the wall a little bit to get a peek inside.
not where you are. No, you're good. You can climb up.
Okay.
You assume you don't hear anything,
Yeah, I have a
but
15
there is the
climbing. I'm gonna
tower
roll it.
above you. Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a regular success.
Yeah, you can climb up it. I mean, there's
I just want
ropes
to kind
every
of
like
look
3
over.
or
I
4
want to look
feet.
over into the palisade and see if I can see anything.
Okay,
Or
smartly
into the
where yeah,
village.
smartly where you are beneath that platform that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy in the platform that you don't know about yet, but he can't see you because of the angle of,
Mm-hmm.
he's looking outside of a thing. You climb up, you're underneath this, and you can see inside the palisade. It's a star-shaped structure the size of a city block. Along the outskirts of the walls, there are huts, like really crappy looking huts. This is not a well thought out village. This is
Mm-hmm.
like somebody had an idea and they didn't have the ability or knowledge to do this. Little huts, shanties. You see people walking around towards the middle of the village. You see 3 bodies, and these bodies have spears sticking out of them. So these are the heavies, and they've been speared to death. You also see a number of people in white shirts and dungarees laying dead that they've shot up. It looks to you like they were trying to get to the central building, which is in the dead center of this star-shaped village. The outskirts, all these little shanty huts. There's a few other buildings towards the middle, and then there's this main building in the center. And they were trying to get to there, and they shot up some villagers. Villagers are being tended to, or they're dead and they're being dragged away. And the 3 dead bodies are laying there. And on the far side, towards the entrance to this central building, you see Deerworth dead on the ground.
Also with spears in him, or
Yeah.
no?
I mean, you don't really see how he's dead. He's just laying there dead.
Okay. No worries.
Now you do see, of course, Brother Daniel, and Brother Daniel is standing with his hands on his hips, directing people. You can't really hear what he's saying, though.
Okay. I'm gonna try to sneak my way back to the guys.
Roll a stealth.
I failed by 5. I will spend 5 luck to make it a regular success. I have 6 left.
You get back. You're sneaking, and you there's a little area where you have to cross over this little path that's a raised area in the waterway, and you sort of trip and you splash in the water a bit, and you stay dead still. And you notice that the guy is looking, because by this time you notice there's a guy in this raised area, and he doesn't see you. He looks around, alligator, turtle, whatever. He goes back to looking out the other way. So you make it back.
All right, guys. I gotta peek inside.
Okay.
So the guys
Why'd you
are
do
all
that?
dead. I climbed the wall and looked over it.
Wow.
Climb that
Easy.
thing? Wow.
So
Oh yeah.
you said there's quite a few dead people. How many people do you think are still alive?
Saw quite a few. Yeah.
You saw enough huts to house like 50 people.
Oof.
And how many dead villagers did I see?
5.
I don't know. Close to 50, maybe.
And when you said the heavies were dead, were those Adam's heavies or the other heavies?
They're Adam's heavies.
Oh, so they didn't manage to kill the Reverend's heavies.
Didn't even see the Reverend's heavies.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Among the dead people, you saw 2 of the heavies dead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, 2 of the heavies were dead.
Okay.
They still got at least 1 left. But
And
yeah,
spears,
like those guys have been speared to death. Yeah.
So maybe they don't have weapons. Maybe the weapons were.
Well, they will now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they got
true.
a few now.
I don't know.
Assuming
What should
they
we
took the
do?
ones off those guys. There's a central building that looks like where they were trying to get to, and I saw the Reverend over there, or the brother, whatever he's called, barking orders.
Brother Daniel wasn't trying to pack his stuff up to run, huh?
He didn't look too frightened to me. He looked like the man in control of the situation. So I think if you want to storm this place and just take this thing, he's going to be the one you got to take out. You know, what do they say? Cut the head off the snake.
Well, you actually said you climbed that wall and got a
Oh,
good
it's easier
look.
than climbing the wall back in Boston.
If only you had a
Remember
sniper
Deersworth when
rifle
it
at the
broke
time,
into
you could
Deersworth's
have.
office?
Yeah.
Sniper rifle. I'm not a shooter, man.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm a burglar.
Well, if we could put Percy on your back, you could climb up the wall, and then he could do the shooting.
I could get all you guys over that wall easy.
Yeah,
Just
you
grab a
were
little bit of rope off the docks if we needed to.
you were right over there, and that guy was on that platform right above you.
I know. I saw him on my way back. He almost heard me, but he didn't spot me.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I
Do
think
you hear
that
crying? Sorry, my cat's crying.
I think that he's got to have that thing in that central chamber.
Well, if we're gonna go in
Let's-
there, I think we should try to go in there at night, maybe a little bit more quietly than what our friend Deersworth just tried.
When's let's assume that that brother Daniels or Daniels, whatever, is gonna at least try to pretend that everything's business as usual. What time do you think he'd head out to do his thing tomorrow?
If you
Well, it's a good time.
backtrack time-wise, just so you know, I'm trying to help you out here. It took you 3 hours to get here from the place you were, and it was another 2.5 hours or so, 3 hours
Tallahassee.
to get back to Tallahassee. So you're talking 6 hours.
So he's going to have
Their
to
thing
leave
starts at 10.
around
He's supposed to be there.
Yeah, before sunrise, he's going to have to leave.
Yeah.
Your cat's on your shelf.
I know.
Unless he's
Okay.
Well, so you're thinking that the second he leaves, we go for the central building?
I think.
No,
Well, I
don't
think
wait for him to
I think
go,
we
'cause
need
he
to.
might take
I
it
think
with
we
him.
need to Yeah, I think we need to ambush him.
We should go in there tonight after dark, before midnight.
Well,
should.
if I fix,
If they sleep, they'd have to be sleeping a little bit. They're leaving at 4:00 in the
Well,
morning.
assuming that he doesn't come out of there in 15 minutes in his car,
Right.
heading for Texas, we can just stay here and wait until dark and then try exactly what you said. You said you can get us over the wall?
Absolutely, I can get you over that wall, easy.
Anyone
Listen.
could try. It's literally every 2 feet, they've got ropes tying, lashing things together. You can try if you have any kind of fitness or dexterity. I don't know if Percy could make it, but
I was just wondering if I could use my climb skill to assist them,
yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
to
you
guide
can.
them,
Yep.
like a guided
In-
climb, Like
In my
Just so I do
world,
it.
you can. Yes.
We give Percy a gun and he can watch the car.
My climb skill's quite good, you know.
Oh, okay.
Percy can
I've-
climb. There you go.
Let's do that then.
Lifelong man of the wilderness.
Any man who can
Just-
walk in heels and a dress like that.
In trouble getting up the stairs, that's all.
All right. So if they don't come back out by
They don't.
midnight, we can sneak in.
They don't come back out. Nope. I will say that after a few hours, you do see people come out, dump the bodies in a boat. Boat goes beep, 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 off into the bayou.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no, it doesn't. You're right. They go. They get grumpy. And the thing is, these are not mechanical people that are trying to run these boats. They don't know how to, they're like, oh, the boats don't work. So they just sort of haul the bodies out and they dump them in the bayou.
Yeah. They might also figure that those guys were the ones who wrecked their
They
Yeah.
might, yeah.
boats.
They don't. They stand around pointing at each other, going, "I don't know why it's not working," and
All
that's
right.
it, really.
All right, let's do this.
Nothing happens. All
All
right,
right. Midnight.
midnight.
Any action on the guard posts, whatever you want to call those
man.
platforms?
It's hit or miss. People are up there for the first
Okay.
few hours, and then there's one guy up there, and then he's gone for a while. It's hit or miss. There's no timing
Mhm.
that you can assume. These are unprofessional people. These
I'll
are
just
like,
wait for
Right.
an opportunity when it's getting closer to midnight. Whenever there's an opportunity when there's only one guy up there and then he walks off for a bit, that's when
Yep.
I'll try to get them over.
All right. Everybody make a dexterity roll, but what's your climbing skill?
My climbing skill's 50.
Anyone who doesn't, other than Percy, everyone can add 25 to their roll, or subtract 25 to their roll.
I didn't need any help.
Nope. Percy's an excellent, though
Wait,
aged climber like myself.
Are we doing climb or dexterity?
You don't. If you have climbing, you can roll against climbing. If you do not have climbing, you can use dexterity.
Okay.
Plus 25.
Plus 25.
Plus 25 or
All right.
minus 25.
So I got
whatever.
40 out of 55. My
Okay.
climb.
You're over. You can climb a fence.
The rope makes it easy.
Miraculously,
You made it?
Stanley hauls his portly ass up over the fence.
Jimmy, how'd you do?
It's almost like a parkour. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
All right, you're all over.
And we're
There are-
armed.
And you're armed. Yes. There
Oh.
are no people other than the guard. There are people wandering around, but they are not prepared for an invasion. They think they've dealt with this. There, you see the occasional person wandering around. You hear music in the distance because some of the people are singing their revivalist songs. The central building, there's a light on in the window, and that's
This-
the only light.
All
This
right.
late at night, they're still up, huh? I was
I
hoping
wanna-
that, obviously.
I want to peek in the window.
All right. Roll a stealth just to make sure that you can get there.
Oh, yeah. 1
Wow.
Okay.
under
Excellent.
56.
1. Okay.
1.
You're at the
under
window.
56.
You can look in, no problem. I'm assuming everyone else is kind of just sort of slinking around the
We're
shadows.
hiding in
Isn't
the
that
shadows, right, right.
Leave Van Cleef. Okay, you look inside the window and you see that this is inside the window. This is a miniature church platform. There are like 10 chairs. There's a dais. There's a podium. There is in behind another door, a wall and a doorway. But through that doorway, you can see that there is someone inside, and there is something going on inside. There's a lot of movement and shadows. And inside there, you catch a glimpse of Brother Daniel walking by carrying something in his hands. It looks very much like the jadeite object that you had seen before, like the other objects that you have in your possession.
Mhm.
And he's carrying that object and he's placing it down on a table, and you see someone sitting in behind, but you can't really make anything out. But there's someone in a chair in behind.
Okay. And I don't see anybody else.
No,
And is this the whole building, or is this just one room on this side of the building?
it's a building. I mean, it's a fair-sized building. It's like,
Okay. Okay. No,
fair-sized
just
building.
thinking. So, like, if we go around to an entrance, we got to go through several rooms probably to get to where they currently are.
The main door, and then this door you can see through the window into where he is. So 2
Okay.
doors.
Okay. So there's a door going straight in. All right, there's 2 guys in there right now. They got your artifact. One of them is the Reverend. I don't know who the other guy is.
Okay. I think
Should we
that we
just
have enough.
go in like gangbusters?
Well, go in quietly and so that nobody, gets alerted. But yes.
We might be able to take the old guy hostage and use him to get our way out of here. Maybe.
If
If things
necessary.
go south.
Oh, Stanley, that's a real criminal thing to think about. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, you're rubbing off on me.
Now look, guys, I'm
I
not
just
so
want to
sure.
get out of here.
I'm not so sure that anyone here is a bad guy. I just think that we need that artifact.
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody
yeah,
has
yeah,
a
they're
bad
all
guy.
just
Did you see how many all those
They're
bodies
all
they
just
dumped out in the
amateur
bayou?
acupuncturists. It's
No,
fine.
no. I think that the bad guys were the ones who broke in.
Well,
We're the good guys trying to steal the artifact back.
good guys don't dump bad guys' rivers in the bayou.
Guess so. All right.
There's no good guys here. What, you think you're the good guys?
We're the crazy banana guys. Percy's the good guy.
You know, I'm not a huge fan
Alright,
of bananas.
The door's right there. How do you want to do this?
So we just walk in.
All right.
Got my Lee Enfield.
Let's try to be sneaky.
Yeah. We don't kick the door in. We just
Okay.
quietly.
Is the door
Okay.
unlocked? I'll check it.
There's not even a. It's like you push on it and it opens.
All right. I'll push it open for Dr. Brody.
All right.
The main door open. Sorry, the door opens and the main room is empty. It's like a dirt floor. Like this is not something that's professionally constructed. Nothing's straight. Nothing's really well made.
Right.
And inside there's like a few chairs and there's a table and some papers lying on it. And then there's a wall and another doorway. And inside that wall, you can hear Brother Daniel's muttering to himself, saying, "Well, this is where you got to, and this is where you're going to be, and this is what we're going to do." And he's like, he says, "This is not the way things were supposed to be. You and your friends, you just messed this up. You messed this up. If you had just stayed with your mother."
All right. So I'm gonna walk in first with my Lee Enfield and point it at the Reverend.
Inside the room, you see, remember back
Clayton.
when you were in Northern Ontario
Uh-huh.
and you saw the Migos had their laboratory.
Right.
And in their laboratory, it was like cables and wires and domes of glass and creatures and very what you would consider to be professional looking medical instrumentation.
Right.
What you see is a hodgepodge of strangeness. It's like someone who doesn't have a clue what they're doing has tried to recreate this situation.
Okay.
You see Clayton Perry, your friend, your compadre, his head detached from its body. The body sits in a chair beside him, and his head is connected with just wires just jammed into the head. And it's like someone has attempted to do what the Migo had done in the north. And this Brother Daniels is muttering to himself and just mumbling and talking to himself, and he's carrying around a book and he's making notes. And there's nothing going on here. There's no head that is like functioning. There's no electricity. It's like he's tried to recreate what the Migo had done with his own son. And you see before him on this table the star-shaped stone, the power stone. And when you walk in, you're first shocked at seeing your friend decapitated, his body lying there drained of blood it's been decapitated for a few days now. The
Right.
smell's horrifying. And he's attempting to do what the Migo had done.
Right.
So you need to do a sanity roll immediately.
Do I as well?
Oh yes. You don't even know these people, and you're like, there's
I don't know anything
going on.
about what the Migo
I
did.
got
but
I got 67 out of 70. So I think I'm just angry as hell.
You're
I got a
angry
regular
as hell.
success as well.
Okay, you're both you, John. You see some guy decapitated and some guy ranting and raving,
Yeah, I
and
think I'm horrified.
you're horrified and disgusted by all this because this is beyond what you would normally see in your day-to-day work.
Mhm.
And Dr. Brody, this is your friend, and you're disgusted and horrified as well, and angry. And
I think what I'm going to do is immediately lunge forward and put my foot up and kick the Reverend right in the chest with my gun like this and knock him to the ground.
roll to hit. But he's putting his hand on the stone as you come in.
Okay. I got an 18.
All right.
So
You
I'm
doing
hoping
anything,
he's
John?
surprised.
I'll come in to kind of back him up, but I'm not going to do anything yet because I don't want to fire the shotgun with him grappling with this guy, So I'll get ready for like maybe a melee attack or something if I need to, but I won't be shooting.
Okay. You guys didn't look around the room. There's one of the heavies is in the room on the far side.
I missed that.
Yep. Dr. Brody, you kick him, which releases him from the touching of the stone.
Right.
So you do notice as you're doing this, he's starting to mutter some words, but he's knocked off balance. He loses contact with the stone. But the heavy is raising a weapon. So you knock him down. You damage, you injure him. He's off the stone. He's down. The heavy, however, is going to take a shot and is going to be at Dr. Brody. Oh, I'm sorry. He rolls a 2.
Can I do a dodge?
You can roll a dodge, yes. Well, it's kind of hard because you're attacking and dodging.
Got a 63.
All right.
It's not...
Dr. Brody takes 6.
Oh, that's more than half.
Severe wound.
Yeah. Boom! I get hit.
Dr. Brody gets hit with a 6. John,
Can
what do you do?
I will shoot the heavy.
Go for it.
How far away from me is he?
12 feet to your left.
Okay, that's point blank range. 13 feet is my point blank range. I have a regular success. And that would do 15 points of damage.
Boom. He does not get he does not have the ability to dodge because of all that is going on. He's out, gone, toast. So, Dr. Brody, you are down on the ground. Severe
Yeah,
injury.
I think that I got blown sideways.
You're blown sideways.
Yeah.
What do the rest of you do?
I'll run in and try and first assess the situation. I pre-rolled my SAN. I did pass. What's the loss on a pass?
Loss on a pass is 1 die 4. That's 3.
Okay.
Same for us as well, I presume, yeah?
Yeah,
3.
that is a 4 for Dr. Brody because it is someone he has been working with for a long while. And, sorry, 3 for you.
Okay, that's fine. I still have 71.
Okay. You can deal with anything.
I'm going to head towards the noise of the firing of guns and the shouting of obscenities.
You find inside Dr. Brody on the floor, having been recently shot. A person in a suit that is also being shot. As well, you find your good friend from days gone past, Clayton Perry, who's been decapitated and hooked up to miscellaneous machinery and wiring, and his body off to the side bloating and rotting. And you have to make a SAN roll, please.
Oh dear.
Pick up the hat. Are you okay?
I have passed.
All right. You take 2 sanity. Jimmy, What you doing? Oh, actually, all I know is Percy ran in. Is that all you did, or what do you do when you see all of this?
I'm going to sort of. I think at this point, I'm just going to bring my rifle up in front of me, less as a means to fight anything, and more just as a sort of almost as a psychological barrier between me and the outside world. And well, I'm not going to do anything else beyond that. This round. He's having to process.
Okay, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm basically
your-
following behind Percy. I'm a little surprised at people rushing in towards gunfire, so I'm going more cautiously.
Okay,
But eventually, I'm assuming I see all the same stuff.
you do. Please make a sand roll.
Yep, and I did a really well. I actually got an 11, but I'm at your mercy.
Well, you get a 2 then.
2, okay.
2. Your good friend is decapitated. You haven't heard from him in a while, and now you know what happened to him. So there has been gunfire, and you hear noises outside of where you are. Dr. Brody, you are injured seriously, but not dead.
And the preacher is still on. Got knocked down, but he's getting up, I assume.
Yes, the preacher is now rising up. He's not armed.
Don't
but
let
he's
him touch
heading-
the stone.
He's heading towards the stone.
Just shoot him.
Whoa. Okay.
That is a critical success.
Man, oh man. Okay.
Was
That
this the
does
guy
20,
that
20
just
24 points of damage.
was this the guy that just finished a speech about how we are not the bad guys?
Said don't let him take the stone. That other guy already
I-
capped Dr. Brody.
I believe the speech was, "There are no good guys here."
There are
That's
no
what I
good
said,
guys
yeah.
here.
Gotcha. Okay,
Everybody's
that explains it better.
equally
just-
good.
Just shot a preacher with a sawed-off shotgun.
Less
All right,
a
he
preacher,
is-
more loon.
cultist leader.
The
He
guy
was
who
involved
cut
in
off
all
his
this
kid's,
shit, so.
his own son's head.
He's
Mhm.
toast. He is toast.
And then I grabbed
So-
the artifact.
Oh, excellent. You grab the artifact and you feel an overwhelming sense of purpose and an overwhelming sense of need to set things in order.
Okay.
That's it. That's it for now.
Okay. I run away.
All right. That is appropriate. So you're running out of the building, I'm assuming. Everyone else, what are you doing? I mean, Dr. Brody is on the ground. He's rising. Your health's
Trying to
below
get
half.
up, but yeah. I'm
Come on, Brody.
I
I'll
got
give
blood
him
on my
I'll give him my
shirt.
shoulder.
There's blood on my shirt.
Come on, let's try and get to at least the Reverend's car or something.
Watch out, there might be more cultists.
Oh, I have no doubt that there aren't more cultists.
You step outside. The first person to step outside, which is John, you see there are people milling about, people milling around and wandering and like, what's going on? What's going on? And there's at least 2 guys that have spears. These are like fishing spears. And one guy off to the side who, picked up a shotgun or something, a weapon that someone else has. You can't quite see what it is. And there's
Okay.
a car, and it is the beat up kind of sedan that brother Daniel had been driving in.
Where's that wall that goes over by the docks?
The wall to the docks is behind you and to your right, but the main entrance gateway that cars can drive in is straight in front of you.
Okay. I run back towards the docks.
Okay. Foop, foop. 2 of these spears come flying, but these guys are not professionals. However, you do hear a shot ring out. It's a miss. So they're going after you. Like only the people that are armed are going after you, like 3 people. So you're
That's
running
good.
towards that door. What's everyone
If
else doing?
if they come after me, they won't be going after the other guys anyway.
That's right. You guys hear one shot ring out outside the door in the main like quad or whatever you want to call it.
Where are we going, Stanley?
Out of here. Let's try and get to the car.
So we can just push open the front gate.
I was thinking ram the front gate and get the hell out of here.
Okay. I'm at your disposal.
Yeah. Let's go. You two coming?
How are you managing to move, Brody? Are you able to handle that, or do you need help?
Like this.
Help would be all right.
Weren't we supposed to be getting something?
We got it.
John's got it already. John grabbed it and ran.
Did you get it already?
Yep,
John's got it.
Oh, fancy.
All right, let's go.
All right. You guys ran out the front door, I was assuming, towards the vehicle, because you did see the vehicle when you were going in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm rolling like a. All right, John, you get winged by a spear. Shotgun blaster hitting the wall in front of you, but you get winged by a spear. You take 1 point of damage.
Fuck. God damn
Just
it.
shoulder.
This was an expensive suit. All right. I'm going to try to pull some superhero climb shit to get like over this wall as fast as I can over to where those boats are. So
Right.
a roll climb.
Roll climb, yeah. The rest of you, they're being distracted. The people who have weapons are distracted by John, so you can attempt to get in the vehicle. Go ahead.
What's he doing? The car's over here.
I don't know.
Whatever. Let's go. Go.
I have a 39, which is a regular success.
All right, you're over the wall, and spears. There's other people now. Nope, nobody's hitting you, but they're running towards you.
They're keeping me inspired.
Yes.
Okay. Up over that wall, over to the boat, pull open the casing on the engine, which I never screwed back shut anyway.
Mhm.
Jam this fucking plug into it. Try to start the boat.
All right, it starts. I mean, they're well-kept motors.
Make them do a luck roll.
Don't.
All right, you can get the boat started and you can head off into the darkness. The moon is like 3/4 full right now. You're heading out into the bayou. Awesome.
Where did
The
John
rest
go?
of you.
I have no idea. Get in the car. Get in the
The
car.
rest of you can each of you can get in the car. Who's Dr. Brody is
I'll drive.
beyond driving. Okay, you can drive, so make a driving roll. What are you going to do? Well, in reverse order. What are you going to do? Make a driving roll.
I will make a driving roll, start the car, and book it out of the compound. That's the plan.
Are we just driving to my car?
Well, first I'm using the car to get out, and we'll see what happens then. Out of spear range. That is I will spend 3 luck. Yep. All right, so that's a success.
Okay. You start the car, no problem. Keys are in it. You're heading towards the gate. You bust through the gate. Who is sitting where?
I think I'm sitting in shotgun.
I'm sitting behind Dr. Brody.
Okay.
Exactly how seriously hurt are you? Because if I was helping to carry you, it probably would have been easier to just dump you in the back seat.
All right, then I'm in the back seat. I'm one more than half. That's my points plan.
I'm sitting next to
Doing
Dr.
poorly.
Brody.
All right, Jimmy.
Yes.
A spear smashes through the window and hits you in the shoulder.
Ouch.
It's not full on because some of the impact has been absorbed by the car window, but you take 3 points of damage. But you have a spear sticking out of your shoulder.
It's just a flesh wound.
Was that just hurling some spears at us as we drove off, or are they actually pursuing us in another vehicle?
At present, they are just throwing spears at you.
All right.
All right. John, you are in the boat. You're heading off into the darkness into a moonlit bayou.
How appropriate, into the darkness.
Everybody take a drink.
Wait, I've got something for this.
Your blue juice. So what's do you have any plans in terms of where you're heading? Because you've got a head start on everyone a little bit.
Well, I'm wondering, I would have looked at maps of Georgia. Where does this bayou feed out to anything, or does it feed out to the Atlantic or to the Gulf of Mexico, or?
It's all interconnected. You could probably having seen the map, the road map you have that gave a very minimal amount of description of the bayou. It's all just intertwined, fingerling kind of like fjords and not fjords, but
You could get hopelessly lost.
In theory, I could get to Tallahassee.
No.
No?
Well, hypothetically, you could find your way in the direction of Tallahassee by using the moon and the stars as a guide, but you'd have to get out of the boat at some point.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You can probably find your way to at least a populated area.
That's what I'm trying to do, yeah. Try to find my way to a populated area. Because, yeah, I don't want to just, like, get lost deep into the the swamp itself, you know?
All right. That's not a I will... you can very easily find your way to it'll take you a few hours, but you can find like by the lights, you can find yourself to a small town somewhere. Yes.
Good. Okay.
The rest of you, you've busted out of the palisade. Boom, doors blow open. You get to your old car. There's like the little causeway kind of, that leads to the palisade. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Where do we go? Hospital?
Okay. You two get Brody into the other car, and start driving down that way. You know what? I'll just flip this around and have it accelerate in the other way. Do we have a rock or a brick?
There's
Sure.
there's an old rotten log. It's a swamp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
The causeway has rocks and there's rotten logs. Yep, you bet.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
I've got this brick that I tend to carry around with me. If that's of any...
Okay.
No. Hold on to your
Charlie.
brick. I'll use this log. That's more expendable.
He's called Mr. Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Delightful.
What are you doing with it?
Brick.
All right, so yeah, I'm just having the other car that we rammed the thing drive back the other way.
Sure.
Hopefully get some attention off of us for a little while.
Okay. I'll just say that by chance, actually I rolled very well for this. Halfway across the causeway, it kind of goes sideways and turns and blocks the causeway. So you can get in your vehicle, you backed in, you can leave. Let's just say that eventually you find your way to a hospital. Dr. Brody is mended to a degree. What do you do, John, when you get to a populated area? Who are you going to call? What are you going to do?
Well,
How are we going to find each other?
that's the question, yeah. How would I find you guys? Because we didn't. Oh, I could try our hotel actually, because we had the hotel room that we were
We
all sharing.
packed up our stuff. Yeah, we'd have to go back to the hotel we kept. Just last left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did we not continue to rent that? Was it just a one night thing?
We
I
didn't
would
know if we were
just-
going. I assume we just packed up our stuff again in the
Okay.
morning.
Well, in that case, then maybe I'd try to call my friend Dean.
All
have
right,
the
that's
information for
there's
contacting him.
the connection there. Let's just
Mhm.
assume that after a couple of days of fiddling around the small town and Dr. Brody being healed, you guys contact Dean through whatever means you do, and after a week or so, you get together. You've got all three pieces together, and by chance, when you were moving the car and trying to get this other vehicle out of the way, you did find in the the trunk of the Adams vehicle, a box that contained the clamps that he had mentioned, the clamps at one time, that would be used to attach all three of these stones together. You gather them together. You go up to the coast. You go out in your balloon, way out, far over the ocean. You drop the items into the deepest part of the ocean that you can access by your balloon, thereby just not destroying them necessarily, but disposing of them. So
That's what at least I
they're
tell
done.
them that I do.
That's what you
Oh
tell
yeah, I
them.
was going to say, hang on, because I'd been formulating an entire subplot about Percy getting hold of these things and negotiating with the Migo to become eternally youthful.
Well, that's before you get rid of the stones. I don't know. So there you go. The stones are dealt with. You've only had minor injuries, except for Dr. Brody. So there
And I
you go.
eventually
That is it.
recovered.
He'll live.
That is it.
I might have enough money to make sure that my wife doesn't kill me. Maybe.
She'll never work for Dominion again. So that's okay.
Oh, certainly not.
So that's it.
We meant,
All
weren't
right.
we supposed to be going on some sort of archaeological dig somewhere?
That was last game.
When is the
Remember, I
wedding?
took you up in the balloon.
Oh, I went up in a balloon once. It was very exciting.
I took you up in the balloon. We can go again. Just right over here.
Yes.
Ah,
I think I'd like that.
that's how we all end it. We go up in the balloon.
There you go. You're
In the
off.
ocean.
You go off.
Off into the sunset.
There you go. That's it.
All right. So what was really going on? Was this something that we could have contacted the Miko and?
You could have. I mean, you could have contacted me. You could have summoned Migo and controlled them. All in all, Daniel is his middle name. I mean, Clayton Daniel Debussy,
Okay.
and he returned to Florida after being in Ontario. He tried to be a doctor for a while, but then he noticed people were watching him. He tried to hide the fact that he had this stone, but people kept watching him. So he contacted the Masonic Lodge, and they assisted him in escaping. He went to Fargo. He changed his name. He opened up a new doctor's office, but again, people found him eventually. So he decided, what do I do? What do I do? So he went off to live in the bayou, and slowly he started playing with the stone, messing with the stone, and it affected his brain. And he started thinking to himself, why should I just ignore this? Why shouldn't I do something about this? And slowly he started trying to emulate what he saw the Migo were doing up north, and it just drove him crazy. I mean, he had the church, but he went crazy. He was trying to be. He only had the power to control people, but he couldn't summon the creatures. He couldn't control them.
Yeah.
So he wanted the other stones. The cultists just wanted to follow him. He couldn't do what he wanted to do. And of course, Adam was crooked as hell. You know he was. He killed
Was he
Spawn.
going to summon them? And yeah.
Oh yeah, he was going to, absolutely. He was lying his face off. He was going to try to control the world with all of this. And if you had assisted him, that's what would have happened.
Did we just jump?
No, I think just Ian's turned off his camera.
Yeah, but Jeff was over there and you were over there.
Oh, I haven't
All
done
right.
anything.
Let's go ahead and finish up. Our players included Jeff Wilkins, Vic Swan, Ian Christensen, Brian Daly, and myself with Sean Little as the Keeper of the Secrets. We usually play 4 times a week and post the YouTubes within a couple of days of each episode. We also post the audio versions on iTunes and Podbean. We do not monetize our shows. The only shows that we have ads are the ones that we've used copyrighted material. The music owners get the cash, we don't. Our costs are also entirely provided by our patrons. What's not covered comes out of our own pockets. By pledging just a couple of dollars a month, you are directly helping us to pay the costs and improve our show. If you would like to join our patrons, please visit our Patreon account. You can find the link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you have. This is Tom Riley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.